The Wi-Fi is the major thing.
Yes.
Oh, that's cute.
I was moving, so I just plant myself inside.
Oh, I don't want to twist my neck. Do you need, what do you need to up me? Just these two and him? Okay.
HDMI point.
What's this for?
I think this is for you, right?
No, I like it.
It's going around. So there's a laptop going around where we want you to please register. Want to get that out of the way before we actually start off. Where is it now?
I don't know. There should be two laptops over here.
There should be two laptops. Okay, so one over there and one there.
Just like a roll call?
Just making sure we have.
Roll call?
Are you in the room? Are you not?
Here.
What is that here? Gallery.
Oh, what are you doing back there? I always take the back seat.
Good morning, you're
class.
welcome.
Oh, you're one of the
Trouble.
I was one of the trouble.
We've already been moved to the front.
Morning.
Oh, we just can't see that far.
It is, but this is, she's coming. There's a seat here, there's one there, there's one here,
And there's two
and
here.
there's two there, and one here. There's still one here.
Yeah, it's one of them. It's kind of talking and everybody's breathing in here.
Sunshine.
Get that.
Please, if you haven't just registered, just,
Oh, one of these.
let's see how many people are left who haven't gotten their information on the computers yet. Okay. So if one of the computers can just come forward and the other one can keep going backwards. There should be two devices.
I like a mouse.
You like a mouse?
I like a mouse.
I actually think I have a mouse in my handbag.
Oh,
Let me
I'm
just check.
teasing, it's all right.
Hey, I have to leave
I'll
prepared.
make it. I can't even spell my own name.
Hey.
How are you?
It's a cute white one.
Yeah. I have a, what do you call it, a desk lamp. So I'm not used to these.
It's quite different. Just 6 behind, please. Can I go?
Oh, they let everybody in. They let
No. Yeah, so I'm used to using my iPad. This it reminds me of.
You sure you're gonna be the secretary?
Never mind, it's not 7.
Mine's up there.
It's neither.
My secretary's up there.
It's another Android.
Wrong?
My wife has 7 edge or something.
I just want to settle with you. Yeah, I can photo it. I don't use them. That's fine. Well, I have a lot of camera, but
I don't think oftentimes
Well,
anyway,
success.
I've done all my stuff before, but it's been years, and it's like, everything changed.
It has two.
I use it as a phone to play video games.
And then you need to do
Actually,
it
play
as soon as you're
Not a
on
one gamer.
Good morning, everybody.
Hi there.
The seminar is starting in 5 minutes, so we just want everybody to register. And somebody is just coming through. How many people haven't registered?
Have it or
Okay.
have?
Haven't. Okay, where's the laptop?
It's right here.
There are two.
Oh.
There are two.
There's one there too.
Okay. So can we put one on this side? So that the other, okay.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Next person can do that.
Okay, just pass it along. Hopefully we can finish registering in 5 minutes.
Go in and instead of what?
Yeah. I want to see this one.
That's okay.
Most of the people wouldn't know what a well was.
She was big enough.
Yeah,
I didn't hit my
closed
toes.
toes.
I know.
I've been doing computers since 1973. They still type with their fingers. They could never learn all five.
Typing in high school.
Oh, that's
Oh, I could do it.
Yeah.
I know. Sit down and type.
Yeah.
Where was it?
I think it was
I'm
plugged
old
in.
enough that when we were in school.
I saw something go flying.
That one?
Yeah.
It's kind of wrapped around
Greg,
it, but
no.
but it's not plugged in.
It's a form of.
This is plugged in.
It's
plugged in here. Yeah.
Next thing about talking about Greg and his-
Magnetics. Yeah.
Doing an essay or typing it out on a document. He's a polymath. I document. I'm in process.
Yeah, I know.
But there's different uses. They're gonna tell you about that, it doesn't matter what you have, you don't need anything good. You got an Android, you can do anything.
Your phone can do your like.
Thanks to Google.
Laptops now,
Bring my
like
laptop and then I had no
really,
idea.
unless you're going for a high-end gaming machine like Alienware.
You know, I just read an article that's
It's
just.
cool. Nine times out of 10 are running like the i7s and HPs. Asus run the i7s. Really,
Whatever reason.
So that's
Yeah,
why.
you wanna get a-
Wanna go up.
What's like, her brother's wife is the head marketing manager for Acer Canada. Wait, she's the head marketing manager for Acer Canada. No, our sister-in-law. We could probably ask her for a deal.
Why not? That's why they're there.
no, it's all like all the processors. Like i5s are okay, they're a little bit slower, but I mean, 9 times out of 10, all of them other than MacBooks are running i7s now, so.
Yeah.
Really,
Oh, no.
even the little mini ones, like the 10-inch ones, like Best Buy and the Source, like 349, I'm sure have processors in there. Anything you're gonna need to do here. So the only thing is makes a difference is if you want like a high powered, like a 1 terabyte or a 2 terabyte gaming video card in it.
Otherwise, you don't
Other than
have.
that, literally you go to the store and pick one up for like $49, and I'll have an i5 and processors and i5, it's all you're gonna need. It's just for basic things that maybe downloading apps from your phone. You don't need anything more than that. So
Do a lot of
then all you need is you buy yourself an external
My
hard drive.
grandfather came from.
Really, like downloading depends on your internet, the kind of internet you have and the cable you're using.
He was telling me we got a little
If
time.
you have
All that new
mobile internet,
Maybe one day I'll get this.
you get low download and upload speeds, but if you have like wireless high speed Ethernet or whatever, you get that fast speeds to download and upload. It's not just computer, transfer data from system to system. Think about that. Really,
She burned her tablet too, because she uses it too much.
That's the thing, is like, you buy like the source has them on sale for $29. A laptop tablet. Plug the screen into it, you keep it as a laptop, plug it into that. $329 for the little, you plug it in, plug and play, and pull it off if you want to go somewhere. Plug it in.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I'll probably just keep saying it and then all eyes are on me. Good morning. Good morning.
She's just gonna say.
Bonjour.
Bonjour.
Bonjour. Well, let me see what else I can try. Okay, today somebody might be able to respond to me. A caro. A caro. Oh, awesome. Good Johnny. Good Johnny. Johnny. Saubona. That's beautiful. Welcome.
Namaskar.
Nabunwa.
Huh?
Nabunwa.
Nabunwa.
That's from Zimbabwe.
From Zimbabwe. Nabuna. You see, I'm
Nabuna.
learning well. Any other languages in the room that I'm not catching?
Namaskar.
Namaskar.
Yeah, that's
Is that
India.
Asian?
India. Yeah.
India. Awesome. Guten Tag. I should remember Guten Tag. Guten Tag. Good morning. Guten Morgen. Any other languages?
Buena mañana.
Buena mañana.
Buena mañana.
Buena mañana. Espanol? Is there any Portuguese in the room?
Cactila.
Huh?
Cactila.
Cactila. What language is that?
Russian.
Russian. Look at that.
Wow.
That's very, very good.
I have some knitting patterns that I don't know how to translate.
That's great.
We just need some online.
So good morning, everyone, again. Thank you. Welcome on this lovely Saturday morning. When I was walking in, someone said, "Oh, finally, spring is here." And I'm like, "Yes, spring is here. Finally, it's shown up. It's been here for a while, but you know, it kept going away." Thank you. Has everyone registered? No, you haven't. Press the link and then. Are we done or loose? Okay.
Anybody need
There's someone over there. It's locked.
Oh, sorry.
Were you
No.
doing?
I got it. I signed me and we're together, so.
Okay, so one person is signed in.
Oh no, Larry has to sign himself in. No.
Yeah. You have become one.
doesn't know how.
Well, we can
Takes a great boat anchor.
This is part of what we're doing here. Why not?
These things make great boat anchors.
Okay. Thank you again for giving us your Saturday morning, at least, well, 3 hours of it. We really appreciate it. So first off, we don't take you for granted that you trusted my husband's video, you know. How many of you saw the video in church? I've been making fun of him all for the last 3 weeks. They kept going there.
That's right.
So, you know, I'm like, you know, you should take me some of that when I speak. Thank you for trusting us enough with your time. We don't take it for granted. I will start off today with my husband. We'll do quick introductions. Set a bit of context. We have about 88 slides to get through in 3 hours. We have hopefully 3 breaks. I would like to kickstart it with a prayer. So who's going to volunteer? Can I get a volunteer? If my daughter was here, she'd be here already. Like, I want to pray, mommy. Huh? The older you get, the more reticent and shy you get. Everybody want to pray for us? Thank you, sir. Just a quick word.
Thank you, Lord, for the opportunity to gather here today in your presence. Father, we pray that you would preside over our time together, that our words and our thought would be directed towards you, that you would preside over us, that our time here would be glorifying to you, Lord. The information presented would reach us, and Lord, that we would be able to do great and wonderful things in your name. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much, sir. There are 2 scriptures I want to be able to start off with. And if you're in the room and you're not yet a born-again Christian or a Christian, I would not like to apologize. I hope you heard it. I would not like to apologize because everything we do is founded, myself and my husband, is founded in Christ. We are who we are by reason of our firm belief in the Lord Jesus Christ. The fact that he came, he died, and he resurrected so that I can have eternal life.
Amen.
So no apologies for that. But hey, don't use that as a reason to shut us out completely either. I'm not going to ask you if you're born again, if you want to give your life to Christ. This is not what this is about. I want to start with two scriptures. One says that no scripture is of private interpretation. Second one says that when the word of God goes out, it must not and it cannot return to him until it has fulfilled the reason why it was sent out. How many of you get that?
Yep.
So it means when our wonderful Lord speaks a word, it's looking for who's going to hear me. Where am I going to fulfill purpose? Is it going to be in you? Where am I going to find fertile ground? When I find the ground, is it ground that's going to work? Or do I somehow have to be able to find my way out so I can find ground that would really work for me? You are all good ground. The only thing that stands between you and your harvest is you. Nobody else. Stop giving the devil so much credence. He doesn't have that much credibility over you. Life happens, stuff happens. I almost used the S word. Bad stuff. Really happens. Okay? I've seen it in my life, I've seen it in the life of my parents, or family, or people I mentor, people who mentor me. But how far you get through in it depends on you. We're here today to share knowledge that was imparted to us, that we came across when we went through really hard times. And I mean really hard times. Really hard times. When you had to think through, you wake up. You know, the first series, you wake up, it's just myself and my husband, just freshly married. And the only thing you can really afford to think about eating for the next 3-4 months is noodles. I ain't talking about the freshly made one. I'm talking about the one that has potential to give you cancer if you take too much of it. Mm-hmm. And then the second phase, where yes, it looked like we were earning, but it looked like we were going from paycheck to paycheck to paycheck. And getting to the point and realizing that we have 2 beautiful girls in our lives now. And is this how long we're going to keep going? And it's not because we don't have an education. Between the two of us, we have well over 30 years of education. I have a first degree in the English language, a second degree in French, a third one in computer science, and a fourth one in a master's in knowledge management. I'm not counting all the professional courses I've ever done. So it's not that the head knowledge wasn't there. But we were not maximizing the opportunities that were coming in front of us. And that's something that I still struggle with. I actually woke him up overnight today. Because I want to be real with you guys. It's not, oh, this is the magic number and you've got to do it. Oh, come on, I'm like, you know, I know there's so much potential lying inside of me. But there's just one me. How do I make sure I keep doing it and I'm doing it right? That I'm not going to go back to my Lord and Savior and it's going to go like, I gave you 5. What did you do with it? I'm a firm believer that when I'm 40, you know, God gives you many gifts, and it's for different times and seasons in your life. There's sometimes it's before when you're 20, when you're 30, when you're 40. So I, for example, when I hit 40, which is pretty saying, hello, hello, hello to me right now, and I know that's about half of some people's age here. I'm very clear, please. Can we have some lights? Sorry.
Don't quite.
You know, I said to myself, when I hit 40, this is the career goal that I have. I've had this proposal since I finished university, which is now about 18 years ago, that I'm going to open a jazz lounge.
That sounds cool.
Yeah, my husband plays, I sing, where Christians can come and have a good social time and not worry about the environment. Because I struggle with it. I'm a human being. God didn't make mistakes making me a human being. But where's that environment I can spend time and really enjoy myself? Business idea for somebody? Don't do it before I get there. If you're going to do it, come share the idea with me. So what we're going to do today is we're going to share a part of what we have learned on how you can use your time on the internet a lot better. Using the skill sets you have that you might not realize that you have. How many of you here are very comfortable using the computer?
Pretty comfortable.
Yeah.
Like relatively comfortable. And feel free, please, there's no stupid responses, no wrong responses. Chatham House rules. Chatham House rules means everything that happens here stays here. If you're going to share it outside, you're not going to attribute it to anyone or make fun of anyone. Okay? That's very important for me. I want people to be very comfortable. So how many of you feel like, you could do with some upskilling when it just comes to computer training? Like how to better use a computer. Marketing, are you keeping just a tab?
Everyone could.
Everyone. Okay, so if you need a digital skills, a computer training, this is how to use a computer and navigate the internet. That would also be useful. Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. That's good to know. Because we don't want to have any assumptions. How many of you have been on the internet today? How many of you haven't been? Please speak into my life. Yes, today. Speak into my life so that when I wake up, after 5 minutes, I'm not going, it's a bit addictive. Yeah? That's pretty good. Please don't lose that. Find your balance. So today we're going to start off doing a bit of a skills audit. I'm going to hand it over to Olu, but I like to do things sometimes the other way around. So I am Titilayo Luchumoke. No, let me say that right. I'm Titilayo Miniwaju Oluwa Oluchumoke Akisomi Bolayo. Titilayo Miniwaju Oluwa, meaning forever is my joy in God. So every time you call me, you make a declaration over me that I have no choice because I keep hearing it. I will succeed in that way. Forever will be my joy before God. What are you calling yourself? Irrespective of whatever anybody else calls you. What are you declaring over yourself? What are you believing? I'm married to this wonderful man who came into my life because technically I was supposed to help him. I'm a birther of dreams. I'm a birther of purpose. That's what I do. That's one of my giftings. I was meant to help him birth a gifting in his life, a project. And till tomorrow, maybe I will get the proposal, but I've ended up with 2 kids. I think we're not doing too badly. And Olumide today is going to walk us through some of what we're going to be doing. To give you context, I do have a 9-to-5, although it's not a 9-to-5, I love what I do. I lead public policy and government relations or public affairs for an institution called Google. And I do that across sub-Saharan Africa with some work across the world. I've been doing this kind of work for the last 17 years of my life. So yes, God has really blessed me with youth. Why ain't as young as you think I am? Which is pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah? I'm looking forward to my girls getting to my age so that I can be like, is that your sister? Oh yeah, I'm her sis. And she'll probably be like, no, mommy, no. Anyway, so I'm going to hand over to Olu now, who's going to walk us through. If you need anything at any point in time, please let me know. I will be walking through, chipping in as we speak. The bathroom that we will be using is just outside the door to the right, intentionally close this off so there's not too much distraction. I hate it when I'm coming out of the bathroom and I can see people are not really looking at you, but they're like, looking to the side of the eye. We will break 3 breaks. There will be some coffee. Intentionally, we're not feeding you so you don't fall asleep on us. If there's anything at all that you need, please let me know. If you don't have a notebook, if you have questions, anything as we go along, please feel free to ask. And if you feel like, seriously, I get this already, can we move on to the next stage? Feel free, step aside, come see me. Because I see some young people in the room. If you want to have fun, I'm the fun person in the room. Okay? Not him.
What's Olu?
Here's the serious one.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you.
This wonderful person that's in my life. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
I'm so excited to be speaking to you guys today about creating online income. I'll try not to move my hands as much because you said. So, first of all, how many of us are tired of what we call just over broke? And I want us to be honest. Just over broke. Do you know what just over broke means? This is broke and you're just around here. Sometimes here, then you go.
You get like $25
So, who knows the acronym for just over broke?
The full thing.
The acronym for just over broke. J-O-B. That's what your job really is. It keeps you right. Some people earn big money at work, right? But most of us, I can say of myself, we're always around just over broke. How many of us are tired of that? Oh, welcome to my world. As Titi alluded to, I'm not going to go into the details, and I shared it in church already. At the time in our life, God gave us the opportunity to learn some skills. And I've heard about how people make money online, how people do stuff online, but I never knew how. I never knew how it actually happened. So God took us through an experience where we actually learned, and we paid for it. It was quite expensive, but we learned how people legally go online and do stuff with skills that they have or skills that they can easily learn. Do nothing again.
It's okay.
Be you.
All right, thank you. So after that experience, I got back working at working at my current employer, and I shared this with Pastor Randy that this is what happened, and he said, well, "Don't you want to share with the church?" And when I prayed about it, God said that the reason why you went through that experience is because there's some people that need to hear about this. If you look at your life, you go through so many experiences, not just because of you, but because of people coming behind you, so that you can share with them that this is where I was, it will be better for you. And this is exactly what we're doing today. So we learned these skills, and God said we need to share this. And there are 3 reasons why we do this. We're tired of being just over broke. We see that many of God's children are living in that just over broke. And God has given us this mandate to share this experience with people so that they can run with it. Not everybody's going to be a billionaire, not because they cannot, but because they will not put the work in. Now, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's not multi-level marketing. It's not, this kind of put money in and expect money, somebody to send you money. No, this is put work in. Now, and I want to use the iceberg as the example. When you see the millions or the big iceberg on the water, you don't know how much work has gone into it, how big the ice is under the ground. The work that you're going to put in to get millions or the trillions or the billions that you want will be commensurate to the work that you put in. So you have to think about it not as, oh, I'm just going to sit there and just watch money come into my account. There's a lot of work that will go into it before that happens. So if you are willing to work, this is it for you. If you're not willing to work, then maybe another seminar will be better for you. But this is for people that want to do some stuff legally online, put in the effort, put in the late nights, put in the weekend work. Titi was saying that I slept at 1 a.m. this morning. It was past 1. The night before, I woke up at 3 o'clock because I have so many jobs. I have my I don't even call it 9 to 5 again because no 9 to 5. I have my regular job. I have my kids. I have my family. I have this to worry about. So this is all you need to think about, that you need to put a lot of work in. And then when the results start coming out, you then understand why it's legal and it's a lot of work that you need to put in to be able to get the results that you want. So without saying too much, I think we'll go into the slides. Titi has said that we have about 3 hours, 9 to 12. I hope we can finish it. Now, the other disclaimer I want to put out there is we're not going to be able to finish everything today. We're not going to be able to touch, but I'm just going to show you some things. What I did for the last group what we did for the last group was to have a webinar after to discuss one of the platforms. And even that one webinar was just about 1.5 hours, and eventually went to 2 hours, and we couldn't still finish. So there's a lot to learn, but we will set you on a path to go, and we will always be here by the grace of God to help you if you need some help. So what we typically will do with this presentation is show you this area, show you some context, show you the success stories of people that we know and we've interacted with, and tell you how to start. And then at the webinar, we'll take one of the tools and go through it. And if there's need for another seminar, we'll think about it. But I mean, that's the model we normally use for this.
Sorry.
So this is the first activity for the day. Can we all take 5 minutes to write down 10 things that you know you're passionate about?
He says 5 minutes, I say 3 minutes, because you should know what you're passionate about.
But there are 10. So there are 10.
There are 10.
And there are 10 skills that you need to write. So 10 skills, 10 things that you are passionate about. And then out of these 2 groups of 10, highlight
the top 3.
Yeah, highlight the top 3. If you don't have a writing pad, you can write on your phone. Type on your phone, sorry. So 10 things that you're passionate about, 10 skills that you have, and the 3 of these 10.
And it's okay if you don't have up to 10, or you can recall up to 10 immediately. But at the very least, you should know 3. Not things that people that are passionate about you for, or they think you should be passionate about, but things that you personally are passionate about. I'm passionate about reading romance novels, for example. Yeah, it's out there. I'm just saying. That means I could make a really good editor. I can tell you if you're writing a good story or a really crappy one. I'm pretty good at that, okay? So I want you to think across that spectrum, all the way from things that might be a hobby, but you're really passionate about, all the way through to something that you actually went somewhere to learn about. I don't think we have any medical doctors in the room. Oh, yeah, we do. Awesome. So I'm assuming you have to be passionate to put in all those years of study. Awesome. That's great.
I think we have 2 minutes more. Or 3 minutes.
You can be passionate about watching movies. You make a good critique, a good reviewer. Think outside the box. Oh, and a quick disclaimer that I forgot to mention. We will be taking pictures. If for any reason you don't want your face to show, please just signify to me. We'll make sure we'll blur it out in the pictures. It's possible. And it's freely available. I won't tell you by who.
Okay, so as other people are writing, anybody that wants to share, please open communication. If you want to share, if you don't want to share, it's fine. What are type of skills that you?
Number 3, where it says identify the top 3.
Yeah,
Talking about skills.
both. In
So
each.
top 3 skills,
Of
top 3
each.
passion.
Anybody that wants to share? Kitty has shared some. She likes reading books, novels. She likes watching movies. She likes telling me how to dress up.
I've been trying not to stare at his shoes all morning.
They're comfortable.
I like your shoes, by the way.
Thank you.
I know you. I know your kind. I taught in a university for 4 years, and I had mature students. I had ministers sitting in the room. I get you. I know your kind. Oh no, I love that. See what I'm saying? Look at that. If you didn't see it, he's wearing red sneakers, lime green slippers. Those are bold. Awesome. That works. That works really well, actually. See?
This work also.
Guess who told him?
Okay, anyone that wants to share?
Passion, skills. Yeah, go for
Passion.
it.
I grew up hunting, fishing, skiing, snowboarding are my main passions. Like anything outdoors, like from fall till spring, that's what I do.
Okay.
So
I think we need to meet you so we can learn. Because
You can
some of us
learn,
are
you
coming
can
from
teach us.
Africa, we don't do skiing in Africa.
Some of us don't do it here.
I'm going to bring them out here, but I've been living in South Africa for the
snowboarding is
last
skiing.
about 15 years.
I teach no fall snowboarding.
No problems, I like that. Any other person that wants to share?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm a retired nurse, but I still like to keep my hand in it, and I do foot care, and that's my passion.
Foot care.
Yeah,
Oh, wow. Reflexology, all of that.
yeah.
Wow, that's really great.
For the compromised people who can't get out there.
Yeah.
I do that.
Yeah, so you do a home service of some kind. Interesting.
Oh, amazing.
Yes.
But you need this.
Mine is children's ministry and doing object lessons for kids, which you do a scientific object lesson and you bring it around to show them how, like to teach them about Christ, missions, and speaking in front of people.
Wow,
Awesome.
that's amazing.
So being able to take science, Christianity, and show how it really works to kids.
Yes.
So they don't get confused.
Right.
She should be talking to you real soon.
Mm.
Yes, ma'am.
Passion, storytelling, writing, singing, acting, Ministry of Health.
Ministry of Health.
Helps.
Helps. Yes.
Well, I'm not the only one here, but knitting.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want you guys to put that down and keep it. We're going to revisit it in the seminar. All right, thank you very much.
There's nobody here who has a passion for dancing.
Oh, yes.
Thank you.
I love to dance.
All right, so this is the agenda for the day. The getting started part is just set context. As Christians, we're not going to just go into a financial seminar and just talk about money, because the love of money is the root of all. God didn't say the money is the root. It's the love of it.
yes.
And if you understand why God wants us to have money, then it will be easier for you not to love it. You will see money as a tool for ministry to impact lives and to improve your life also, right? Because I mean, if you are helping other people you are sowing a seed, and God will always bless you for that. So that's what we're going to talk about. Then we're going to talk about the internet. We're going to talk about online income pillars, what I call online income pillars, where you can actually build your online business, the tools that you use, the promoters, and then we'll talk about next steps. Hopefully we can finish this before 12 o'clock.
Please, could you give context as to why I'm holding up the phone so people are not thinking I'm slightly cuckoo?
She likes me, she has to record it. Some of my friends wanted to watch this back at home.
Yeah.
So we're just streaming some of it. We're not streaming everything on Facebook.
Facebook Live.
Yeah, Facebook Live. I'm also streaming this on YouTube for people that wanted to watch it later.
So there are people who wanted to be a part of this, but who are not physically present in the same space. As such, give them an opportunity to do that. Okay.
So that's technology. I mean, 20 years ago, that wasn't possible, right?
5 years ago, it wasn't possible.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right, so let's get started. So what in this section, we're going to be talking about statistics and facts. We're going to be talking about wealth, what wealth is, and we're going to be talking about the rich and the wealthy. Who are the rich and who are the wealthy? We're going to talk about assets and liabilities. What do you think an asset is? What is a liability? And we're going to look at the biblical perspective to this. I think it's also very important that we have that balance because we're Christians, right? I assume that, and we need to have that spiritual perspective to what we're doing. So this statistics is from Statistics Canada, and I like to ask anybody that understands colors and shapes to help me understand this better. Who wants to go for it? Something is going up higher than the other.
Well, it's everyone's debt and income. Your income isn't going to be as gross and over your wouldn't gross over top of your debt.
Yeah.
These days, minimum wage isn't minimum wage; it's minimum living.
Yeah.
Like back in 70s, 80s, 90s, you could get by on a $12, $13 job, $13 an hour job, and you could live almost comfortably. Now it's not the same. Everything is inflated. Cars, like gas, but gas price. If you drove here, you drove past a gas station, $1.06 a liter. I remember when I first started driving 20 plus years ago, it was like 56 cents a liter. Where's that gas gone? That's why, so inflation's gone up, but pay hasn't gone up.
And that's the just over broke state, right? And this is what the system of the world does for us. It keeps us in a place where you're not financially free. And the system of the world. And as Christians, we need to understand this and understand how we can move above that from a spiritual perspective and from what we can do as as human beings and as with the knowledge that we'll share today.
Just to chip in really quickly, that financial freedom does not come from the amount of money you have in your pocket, in your wallet, or in an account, or in a trust fund somewhere. How does financial freedom come?
Getting out of debt.
Sorry?
Getting out of debt.
Getting out of debt, meaning being responsible with whatever you have.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset. I'm not willing to give you all the answers, so I'm waiting. True financial freedom comes when you take what you have and you're able to help it grow, multiply it, increase it, while still making sure you're living. So that can happen in a range of different ways. Taking what you have in your hands, I'm not saying money, taking what you have and being able to grow with it, such that one of the things that emerges from that is money. Okay, we'll get back to it in a bit as well. Go ahead.
Okay, so there are a few things we can do to stop this from affecting us, right? Later on, we're going to look at it in detail. But the first thing, I'll call it advice, is first of all, stop and spend less. I'm not going to focus on this because we're thinking of making income. But the point is, if you're making more income and you're still spending a lot, you still be back into that.
No matter how much you earn.
Yeah, red of green. So first of all, you need to stop and spend less. Second of all, you need to find a way of increasing that green, increasing your income. And this is an avenue to learn how you can do that. And the third point is invest wisely. Now, why I didn't say save money is, I did a calculation during the week about if I had $500,000, right, and I put it in a savings account. In 5 years, that money is going to be worth less based on what he said. Yes, they'll give you like
13%.
some interest on it, but the worth of that money is less. But if I put that $500,000, and I buy a property in Barry, if I could find one for 500,
$500,000 for a property, very cool.
if I could,
Maybe ghetto.
if I could, that property will be worth more than that in 5 years. And if I put a tenant in there, paying me, let's say, $1,500 a month, or maybe, let's say if I could make it nice, or I put it on Airbnb, I can make between $1,500 and $2,000 every month. If you calculate that for 5 years, that's totally more than what the bank is going to give you. I'm not saying you're going to put out all your savings and put them in an investment now, but think wisely about putting money in the bank and having it sit there, because once it sits there, you keep chipping at it. I can tell you from experience. Once you put money in the bank, you keep chipping at it until you don't have it anymore. So find a way of investing wisely. It could be stocks, it could be property, but that's not the aim of our discussion today. It's just thoughts about solving that problem. You want to share something? Yeah.
No, just keep telling me. Oh no, if I'm going to share anything, if you're going to keep money in the bank, don't leave it with them. When you have your money in the bank, it just doesn't stay in that, it's not like in Wells Fargo days, it stays in the box. No, they will take it and they're making money from your money and you're just getting a pittance out of it. So if you're going to put your money in the bank, put it in a savings account that directly is being invested. Talk to your banker about it, or let's have a chat afterwards.
So the thing is, this is actually the difference between the poor, the rich, and the wealthy. Now, but the poor we're not going to talk about because we're not poor, because poverty is a mindset, it's not just lack of money. We're either rich or we're wealthy. So I studied a book by Robert Kiyosaki a few years ago, and I still remember some of the things that he said. And anyone that wants to read the book is interesting. The financial guys don't agree with some of the things he says, but it's a different way of looking at things that will keep you thinking. So first of all, he said the rich have a lot of money, but the wealthy don't worry about money. So you can be rich and you're worrying about money because the bills are coming, the expense is coming. He says that the wealthy don't worry about money. Second thing he says is, while the rich may have lots of money, they also have lots of expenses, right? That keep them up late at night. And they have to get up early in the morning to go to work. The wealthy don't have to do that because they don't worry about money. There's some links there. I won't go into it today, but I'll at the end of because I have your email addresses, I'll send some of these links to you so you can do your own research to read about this thing and look at the perspective. Now, I always put a disclaimer out there. Robert Kiyosaki, I don't know him personally. I don't know if he's a Christian, but he has an interesting way of looking at it that would open your mind up to how you should treat your investments and your money and all that, and you can learn a lot from him. That's why I put that there. So let us try and define wealth, right? The number, he says in his book, that the number of days you can survive without physically having to work, or any member of your family having to work, is how wealthy you are. And he says wealth is a measure of time, not of dollars. So an example is, let's say your monthly expense is $5,000 and you have $20,000 in savings. Your wealth is at approximately 4 months or 120 days.
So let's take a quick pause. 30 seconds. Think about what your monthly expenses are. If you don't know what the totality of your monthly expenses are, that's something you need to address immediately if the figure doesn't come to mind. Second, how much do you have, like fallback funds, sitting somewhere? Second issue, if you don't have that, that's something you need to be able to address. And part of what we're doing with you today should be able to address that. Third, how many days can you go about and just wake up and go like, you don't need to be, give me a name. You don't need to be Bill Gates to wake up and say, hi, I don't feel like working for the next 1 week. You don't need to be. You need to be able to get yourself to that space.
So this is mainly the difference between the rich and the wealthy. The rich worry about money, but the wealthy don't. And if you look at it from the biblical perspective, God never says, whenever God talks about riches, it's not good. If you look at scripture. But when he talks about wealth, remember the rich fool in the Bible? God wasn't happy with him. But in the Bible, it talks about God giving us power to make wealth. So that God Himself in His Word understands, or not understands, tells us and wants us to understand that there's a difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being wealthy is where God wants us to be, not being rich, because He doesn't want us to be worrying about money, worrying about how we're going to survive. So, where we need to be is we don't want to. Okay, so there's another important point is it's not how much money you have that is important, but how much you can keep and how much you can make it work for you. So instead of you having to work for money, which is the next point, let your money work for you. And we'll talk about investments. Your income section, based on the businesses and the assets you have, must be able to take care of all your expenses. We'll talk about that in more detail. And the internet provides you an opportunity, apart from your day job or whatever businesses you have, to have more extra income working legally on the internet. Thank you. So let's look at the definition of assets and liabilities. And I know the bankers won't like this. I had a discussion with one of my aunties about this. Would you consider your house an asset or a liability?
Let's see a show of hands. If you think your home is an asset, can I see your hand up? If you think your home is a liability, is there anybody who is willing to stand up for the assets? Somebody stand up for the liabilities? Let's have a quick conversation.
Liabilities.
Asset? Anybody want to stand up for it being an asset? Be bold. Remember, it's how good. Thank you. All right, face off. Round one.
One statement. A liability is anything that costs you money.
Sir?
It makes you money, it's an asset.
I bought 3 acres of land in the Philippines and I'm getting a house built for 15 grand. I can live there for $350 a month, which is less than half of my income. My monthly expenses are less than $650 a month. I'm banking money every month.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Please have a seat. How many of you, really quickly, how many of you felt it had to either be a liability or it had to be an asset?
It can be both.
Context. I'll give it back to you.
So the context is that property, is that car making money for you? Or is your net income able to absorb whatever you're having to pay on the car and the house, which is what he's doing in his case. Most of us are not in that position. I can tell you, I'm not there yet. Our houses, our cars are still costing us money. But even when you build a house and let's say you paid it off, you still have to maintain the house, right?
Yeah.
So it still remains a bit of a liability.
It remains, there's still some money that has to go out of your pocket, apart from paying the bank back for the house. The banks want you to think that your house is an asset because it's an asset to them. They own the house. The day you stop paying, they just take you over your house and sell it. And money goes into their pocket. They don't give you any money when they sell your house, right? So let's not be fooled by the bank that say that, oh, that your house is an asset, we'll give you the money to go. They own the house, in essence.
Yeah. The only time, yeah, go ahead.
But it's still an investment.
It's an investment, but in the context of being an asset or a liability, it's still taking money out of your pocket. So
it only becomes an investment that's an asset when the cost of maintaining that property is sustainable by the income being generated by that property. Do you get what I'm saying? So until that house is able to generate you enough income such that it maintains itself and you still have money left over, don't begin to think of it as an asset. And it's a painful space to be in because sincerely, generations were brought up to think your property, buy a house, you have an asset. But in this day and age where maintenance, the older houses, the more you have to maintain it with, then you begin to rethink the way you approach investment in property. That said, and sometimes it's good for husband and wife to really disagree, to agree, I still think the best retirement plan is to invest in property. Invest in property. So that means you might not get your 10-room mansion, but if you can get a condo or a loft property, a 1-bedroom place that you can put money in, such that by the time you're generating rental income that's coming in begins to pay for the maintenance of that house, then we're talking. Yeah?
So the point is, and I didn't want us to preempt the slide that talks about that. The point is, when you acquire a house, and let's say you don't you don't pay fully for the house. That means you're still having to pay the bank for the house. It's not an asset at that point. It's an asset to the bank. When you pay for it fully, and then your income, maybe from the house or other business that you're doing, takes care of the expense of that house, then we're talking, like she said. But there's a slide that I'm going to use to show that your car takes you to work and all that, but you're still going to pay gas. You're still going to maintain it and all that. So let's understand that. But it's the same principle. When you start making money on your asset side and your income side, that takes care of all that and balances out, and it even gives you the extra, the green is over the red. Let me just put that in there, and then we're talking. So can you help me change it? So there's some links here that we'll also share. He says in his book that an asset is anything that you acquire that puts money in your pocket. Assets are what the rich use to get wealth over time. A liability is any acquisition that you make that takes money out of your pocket. How many people consider owning a house an asset? We'll talk about that. So the link is there. I'll share it at the end of the course. So this is what our finance looks like really. There's the asset side, there's the liability side, and there's the expense that comes from our liabilities, and there's income that comes from our assets, right? Let's try and picture this. So from his book and from his own thinking, he says your house is a liability. Let's say if you fully paid for that house, then maybe it's an asset. But if you have not fully paid for it, you're still paying stuff on it, it's on the liability side. The car is there and the credit cards. Next slide, please. So at the end of the pay cycle, let's say, hold on. At the end of the pay cycle, money comes into from either your business, your job, or the stocks, or whatever investments you have, and you get money. And then the next slide comes. You start paying bills and repayments. This is good, but the next slide is when our bills. Hold on, Titi.
Isn't that how it feels when you need to pay bills? It just piles up and piles up and piles up.
They've all seen it now. There's no what do they call that thing? Okay. So we get to the point where the expense is equal to the income. Hopefully it stops there. But then another expense comes, the next slide. And then we need to take another credit card to pay for this.
And then unplanned expenses show up.
And then this is not really good. So Titi, hold on, Titi. I think I'll do it myself. So
I'm unfireable.
Yeah, I'm stuck with that.
For life.
So this is where we want to be, where we can move our liabilities like cars and house into our asset section, grow our business either online or whatever business you can do, buy more stuff so we can increase our income and we can always be in the green. This is what we're trying to do as Christians. This is what the advice I will we have for you. Now you can go to the next.
Are you sure?
So how can you turn a house, a car, into a money-making machine for you? There are ways around it. Let's say you have a house that has a basement. You can rent it out, or have an extra room. You can put it on Airbnb, where you can make a few bucks from it, $50 a night, $30 per night. These links I'll share with you so you can actually look at the statistics, the information, and the news about Airbnb and Uber. Uber is a service that you can actually use your car for, that can make you about $25 an hour. And in the last class, we did a calculation. Your car repayment is about $400, depending on the car, but you can make that in like a week or two.
And the last time we had this, which was how long ago?
Like a month ago.
There was only one Uber.
No,
there was one active Uber in Barrie, but now there are how many? Yes, 12. So people are catching up.
So
okay.
Let me even backspace a bit. When we came to Barrie the first time in 2015, there was no Uber during the week. There was only one person driving Uber.
Once in a while.
Okay, so what is Uber? Uber is
taxi service.
Taxi service.
More expensive taxi service.
It's cheaper than normal taxis. It's cheaper.
Yeah.
Way cheaper.
Is this?
Yeah. It is ridiculously
so there are
cheaper.
different grades of Uber. Sorry. There's Uber Black. There's Uber
There's Uber Black, and then there's Uber Limo. Yeah.
They're the fancy ones, but the cheapest one is cheaper than that. That's why they were fighting them in Toronto about 2-3 years ago.
And then there's the option where you can share the car with other
Uber
people as
Pool.
well, so that even makes it even cheaper. But literally what Uber is it asks people, ordinary people, willing to give their cars, not to use their cars. Either you drive it yourself or you put somebody to drive it, and you go on a shared technology platform, which is the Uber app. Once you're signed up, they take you through a rigorous process where they ensure that you have the right driving skills, etc. You have the right insurance, all of that. And then ensure that anytime anybody's looking for a taxi, so anywhere I am in the world, this is actually my phone. It has my South African number in it. I have the Uber app. I registered in South Africa. I fly a lot. I spend majority of my time on planes, getting from one place to the other. But whenever I get to a country that has Uber and I have Wi-Fi on, I simply go on my Uber app and it shows me all the folks in that locality who have the Uber or who are Uber drivers. And I can just get a taxi and go. And I'm sure I'm getting in the car and I'm relatively more safe because they've been verified. So I'm not getting to a strange city and wondering, how do I get a taxi? Am I okay with this taxi cab driver or not? And that's something that's open to anyone.
And it's cheaper, I can tell you that. So because we have Uber, we use Uber. We have Uber, meaning we are Uber partners, but then we also make use of Uber all the time. Last Sunday I came to church with Uber, it was cheaper than a taxi. So I'm telling you from experience, right? So that's how you can turn your car. So let's say you have a 9-to-5 job.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You can't really.
And you don't have to be on all the time. You can really call your own time. I think that's.
Yes. On Friday nights in Toronto and in Barrie, it's busy, right? Friday, Saturday. So you can drive, pick maybe 4 hours at the weekends to drive, and you make $25 an hour.
You probably will make more than that, but no, at the very least.
$25 an hour for 4 hours is 1,000.
No, 25.
Sorry.
Wow, I like your
100.
math.
Right, exponential.
I'm gonna run to you.
100 a day.
Mm-hmm.
Drive you anytime. Yeah, drive you around for 4 hours.
100 a day. I've actually got to the end of this calculation. 100 a day, 3 days a week. Let's say you do it 3 days a week. That's 300. And you do it four times. You do that a month.
$1,200.
That's more than what you're going to pay back for your car.
No, that's more than $400.
Yeah,
that's 300 times 4. That's 1,200.
1,200.
Oh, okay. I thought you said 400. I'm like,
1,200.
no. Okay. Yeah, 1,200.
So it's something to think about. Another thing I like to say in this course is I don't think anything is too low for you. It's all about business and how you can actually use platforms that are available. And we're not talking about Uber today. We're just talking about how you can make your house and a car.
Things that you already have in your hand. If you remember what I began with, the skill sets. Okay, nothing is by chance, nothing is irrelevant in the conversations we have, even when we're joking. Okay? What do you currently have in your hand that you do not realize could be your path to financial independence, to wealth? Not to having $1 million in the account. You can't get to that point. But there are people who have $1 million in the account and they're forever afraid. Okay? But what do you currently have within your sphere of influence that you can actually then turn to a money maker for you?
So the whole I'll change it. So for those of us that have empty rooms in our houses, something for you to think about is Airbnb. You can use that to get extra income into your income portfolio. For those of us that have a car that's not being used, you can put that on Uber.
So we spoke about Uber. Can we speak about Airbnb just very briefly?
Okay, it's easily accessible. The information is easily accessible. For Airbnb, what it is, it's just like
full meaning.
Okay, there you go.
Air bed and breakfast, Airbnb. So your concept of the bed and breakfast that you are the traditional bed and breakfast you're used to. You want to go somewhere, you hire a room and all of that. But then take it, add technology to it. Your ability to be able to market yourself literally to anybody anywhere in the world who wants to be able to show up here, or who mistakenly comes to Sydney, Canada, instead of Sydney, Australia. How many of you heard of that young man yesterday? He landed in Sydney, Canada. He saw a cheap ticket and he just went for it. Literally. You can check it out. Check it out on BBC. A really sad story. His father had a good laugh because he thought he was getting a cheap deal. Yeah?
I once needed to get some accommodation in Liverpool, England. And my uncle had died. So I needed to go there. So I just typed in Liverpool and started chatting. And in fact, it was Liverpool in Australia. And so I had a really good conversation with the guy. And you know, the families, the audience are really, they laugh every minute, you know. So
Yeah.
it was a lovely
Experience. So you never can tell. Someone somewhere is looking for Barry. It might not be your Barry, but when they do come, you know, it's your space. But literally, this is what Airbnb does. And it's the same with Uber. They take the responsibility of being able to understand, verify, ensure security of the person who is coming into your house. That said, they're outliers. They're crazy people. Okay, so you still take your precautions. But I get asked the question immediately for Airbnb that, okay, am I sure I'm not breaking the law, etc.? Hey, before the money gets to you, they take the tax off. That's pretty good. It makes it a lot easier. So they take some of the majority of the administrative and logistical headaches off, and all you have to do is indicate, go on the website, I want to become an Airbnb host, and you begin. And make sure your home is a lovely place to come to. If you're like me, for example, I told you I can't divest myself from Christ. It's an opportunity to get people into my personal space. If you come into my personal space, I'm going to tell you about Jesus. Just saying. Okay, so those are opportunities that you have immediately. There is one seat here. I can bring it there if you're more comfortable sitting at the back. Otherwise, there are two seats there. I think nobody's going to really take the seat, so I'm going to take it.
Okay, so talk about, Cynthia just mentioned how she can use Airbnb to reach people for Christ. And let's look at the biblical view of wealth.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a scripture in Deuteronomy chapter 8, verse 18 that says, "But thou shalt remember the Lord your God, for it is He who gives you the power to get wealth, that you may establish His covenant, which He swore unto the fathers as it is today." Now, the first question I want to ask is, whose idea is wealth in this scripture?
God.
Is it us?
No.
Or God?
God.
The wealth is an idea in God's heart for His kids, so that we can do something with it. And that is also next slide too. What he says here in establishing His covenant. The reason for wealth and the purpose for wealth is impact and influence. Now, if you have wealth and you're not impacting your world, what benefit is that to God that gives you the wealth that has these ideas in His heart? So the important thing for us to know is that yes, we're still struggling to stay afloat, but God has a better idea in His heart. He wants you to think about above where you're going or what you're going through, to a place where you can impact your world and influence the world for Christ with the wealth that He gives you. So let's understand that. Next slide. Hold on. Thank you. So imagine if we had more Christians in the Forbes top 100 list, and they were professing Christians and they're using their funds to improve lives. How would that not preach the gospel of Christ to everyone in the world? I looked at the list and I saw a lot of people that we don't know their faith. But like, for example, Bill Gates. Obama said that there is nobody in humanity that has given so much to charity than Bill and Melinda Gates. Imagine that it was a Christian and he was giving to charity and giving the gospel with it. Imagine we could be actually fly supplies to remote countries in Asia, remote countries in Africa, and give them food, clothing, and Bibles, and preach to them. Imagine if we could do that. How much impact it would have on our world. How much God will be happy with us. So I want us to stop thinking about, I want us to elevate our thinking when it comes to wealth. It's not about just having that beautiful home, that beautiful car, not worrying about going to work or not needing to go to work. But see how you can use that wealth.
There's more to it.
To impact lives and influence people. That is the basis of this whole seminar. It's not only just get rich, it's get rich for a purpose which is in God's heart, which is to influence people. Right, thank you. Next. So, there's a question I put there. Have we as God's children been walking in the fullness of this covenant of blessings? My answer is no, I have not been walking in it. Next slide. And the reason is because this is us. We're trying to stay afloat, and our financial burdens are holding us back. We cannot even get out of our own situation to think about, going into the world and impacting the world for Christ. Next slide. So there's a promise in God's word in Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 20 that says, At this time I will gather you, at this time I will bring you home. I will give you honor and praise among all the peoples of the earth when I restore your fortunes before your own very eyes. The promise is there for us that God can actually turn our situation around from where we're floating to helping people get out of their debt, helping people get out of their situation, helping people get out of poverty by the blessings that He will bless us and the wealth when we go out there, and He will make us a praise and give us honor. That is the word of God for us. Next slide, please. So all that said, there's an example in the Bible that I want us to use to leverage our change of paradigm, which will take us to the next level. His name is Abraham. God gave him a promise, and before he could actually manifest that promise, he had to do a few things. He had to let go of Ishmael, the son that he had out of God's plan, and he had to let go of Lot. And I looked at it. There are a few things that represent Ishmael and Lot in our lives. First of all, is a limited way of thinking that, oh, I can't do that. That's a way of thinking that limits you. There's nothing impossible for you. The Bible says that for God, there is nothing shall be impossible. And if you're a child of God, that means God is on your side. That means you can do anything you want. You can achieve any goals that you set for yourself. The second thing is the company that you keep. Abraham was keeping the company of Lot and Ishmael, and when he was keeping the company of Lot, there was strife. So sometimes you need to change your environment. I'm not saying move out of the house. I'm saying change the people that you talk to, because they also have that limiting mentality. They don't think they can get better than where they are. You need to change your environment, and then you have to get out of your comfort zone. So when I started doing this online thing, there's some things I didn't know I could do. For example, I didn't know I could make cold calls for people, and they said you can do this. And I tried it the first time, second time, and if you check my profile on one of the platforms, I have a lot of gigs that I do making phone calls for people. I didn't know I could do that. So you have to step out of your comfort zone. Maybe that's not your own problem. Maybe your own is you didn't think you could write. I've had gigs for people asking for me to write blogs for people and website posts for people. You can do that. Don't think that I don't think I have the skills. Once you have the internet and you have the computer, you can gain the skills that you need.
How many of us would like to be able to make money from making calls instead of paying for calls? That's an easy win already, right?
So we will get into that.
I wanted to do a quick context. Going back again on why this is so founded on the Word of God. You will have seminars like this, you will have trainings like this, you will have people who will come with the same messaging, but they will not put the God factor. It's very possible. Again, depending on the kind of audience that we have, potentially sometimes you might not have it so intense. But why we're very clear is there are people who are wealthy in the world who don't know God. I'm sure some of you can think of one or two already. But I promise you, godliness with contentment is great gain. So you can be wealthy without God. But will you be content? Would it be gainful? I can assure you, check all those lives. Review them. Tinker around it. Please don't get to the point where you want to try wealth without God, because I can tell you it sucks. It really does. I know them, I have them. I work in an environment where we have them. This is why it matters, that if this is not anchored in Christ, it's not sustainable.
Right. So next slide. So this is the reason why we have come up with this seminar called Creating Online Income. We can all testify to the fact that technology has come to change the way we live, the way we do anything. I foresee in the future that everyone is going to have a personal drone doing their messaging, they're doing everything for them, or their personal robot getting their groceries for them. Because when somebody said that everybody's going to have a telephone one day, people laughed at him that, how would you have a telephone? Are you going to be carrying the cable around? They didn't think about the fact that there will be mobile phone. Now every single person has a mobile phone. So in the next 5-10 years,
except Patty.
Yeah, and they told us that they don't have mobile phones. I don't think not everybody does, but I mean, you can.
It's a choice.
You can understand the reason why how technology has come to change our world, and how the impact is going to get. So when I was in school, we're taught how to use typewriters because that's how you used to work back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. But now nobody uses typewriters anymore. Kids in school are using computers to study, and the internet is the platform for all that. So that we need to start thinking about how we're going to align ourselves to be able to benefit from it. That is why we've come up with this seminar called Creating Online Income.
I have a quick question. Sorry, what's the name of the youngest lady in the room?
Laura.
Laura?
Oh, it's not Jane?
It's not Jane. Laura, do you know what a typewriter is?
Oh,
Do you know what it looks like? Exactly. So that tells you already that we already are connected. She's been on her mobile device all morning. We're already connected to a generation that completely does not understand what the majority of us grew up with. And that's the generation where we're going to have our retirement. So if you're feeling uncomfortable with technology right now, please start getting comfortable with your discomfort. It's going to get even more uncomfortable. Think around artificial intelligence, etc. Go ahead.
So this is the thinking around this seminar to help us understand this technology and position ourselves from being to benefit from it, no matter the age, no matter the point in life that you are. I think we've gotten to the first break point. Before we take any breaks, can I ask if anyone has any questions, any area that you would like us to discuss further?
Do we need to take a break?
I think we need to take a break. We've had like an hour and a half. Or,
like an hour.
Before we take a break, any questions?
Can we take a break?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah, we can take a break.
Right.
And we're about to get into the really meaty part of it as well. Yeah?
All right. We'll take a 5-minute break. Can I have somebody nominate themselves to watch time for us and get everybody back? 5 minutes.
I'll watch it.
5 minutes. Thank you.
That's it. Timer, 5 minutes.
How do you get that?
The problem is the real world doesn't work like that anymore.
Two-story, 4 bedrooms, central air, finished, ready to be rented. We work with somebody that's like you. You buy the property, you start trying to save limits. And then we had to get the works and HiWay to give us permission to build there because it's got to be so far in the center of the house. So you don't build before this part of the land, you can build back there. They put a fence around the front so that's and the radiation will be. If you start and 2-story, 4 bedrooms, central air. When I went there, I rented a 2-bedroom apartment. If you get more, you get a better place. Somebody would come in, what do you like to eat? They buy the groceries, they cook the meals, direct TV or 400 and some odd channels. Cable internet. The meals, use of the day, everything. $350 a month. I stayed for your house. I figured it out. I'm saying, You should buy as soon as you can because the way the law.
So what he does is copies of the.
I'm a foreigner. I think legally online. And they're trying to put a law through Congress now that if you're not a citizen, you can't.
Are you sure he hasn't filled it in already? But it's okay, even if it's reputation.
No, he can't be
Get it together, okay.
A friend of mine bought property in Texas.
Oh.
They live in
At least you made it, you still made it to
got
quite a bit of.
and they're getting the result. You can see floating meters through the water. You'll see the pebbles on the water.
They're just making something so. Is it working?
Yes, sir. Move on the bottom.
It is, thank you.
40 meters down, you're going. If I jump in this lake, I can't see my hand.
I don't drink coffee. Just feel your baby. Like I was I'm trying to make sure you're showing.
Cebu's not bad. And there's a lot of.
I already lied.
If you wanna buy a decent car, go to Cebu, if you wanna buy a car. The moisture.
I'm assuming the girls are okay.
And then drive it where you want to live.
What is he gonna have you? Your wife says she did. What do you do?
Oh, see? You have to tell everyone.
Who?
It's actually one of the big fives, but people don't know them, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, but that doesn't, I mean, you know, I'm not into computers, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah.
Time up, everyone.
I drive a truck. I
So they say times up. Coffee drinkers are still getting some coffee.
You know the best part about this?
Yeah.
If you want. God,
Oh, totally. Makes all the difference.
oh, that's what I like. Yo, time's up.
That means time is done.
You can retire comfortably in for $350 a month. There's no way you can do that. If you fly Philippine Airlines.
Yeah.
It's so I mean, you can't do everything for $1,200 return. But you can fly the Philippines. I've had some of my bones have been drilled out in titanium, so I'm still running at the water.
David Robler, time's up.
Time up.
Okay, so we'll start. Some people are still trying to get
Come on now.
Sorry. All right, so this next session is where we start talking about the meat, the juicy stuff, the interesting stuff.
Hey, what if I don't eat meat? Give me another one.
Thank you.
Fish.
No, I don't take fish.
Okay, the
Tofu.
Tofu,
The noodles.
the soy.
Dog food.
No.
Call it salad.
The salad.
No, salad is the promissory that there's food to come. Can't say it's.
Oh,
Yeah, but for those who don't eat either.
yeah.
Thank you.
Anybody else who hasn't registered? Yes. Is that the sister-in-law who works at Acer? Oh, we have another techno person in the room. Awesome.
Well, it's not an Acer, so maybe
It's an Acer. It is an Acer. She has to know how to use it. Oh, it's an H3. I thought it was the Acer. Where's the Acer? Is it this one? Anyway. All right.
All right, so here we're going to talk about the internet. We're going to look at some interesting numbers. And we're going to talk about internet income pillars, tools, promoters, and next steps. That's the meat of or veggies, or whatever you want to call it.
It's not veggie.
Before we go there, this is a goal that I like to push to everyone. First of all, that at the end of this session, you will have a deeper understanding of what it takes to create online income. Secondly, that you will decide to make a plan, and this really helped me for what I call a 30-day challenge, where you decide on that at least you will make $1 in the next 30 days.
$5.
No, $1. $1 online in the next 30 days. And that's important for you. It was important for me because I wanted to try this thing because I was hearing a lot of nice things. And I decided that, okay, if in 30 days I cannot see the opportunity to make at least $1, then maybe it's not for me. And before the end of that week, I actually made more than $1. And I realized that what I learned, I could actually make, so if you can make $1 from something or $5 from something online, what's stopping you from making it $50, $500, $5,000?
$50,000.
You. Because you can actually rinse and repeat, meaning you can do it again and again and again. So we'll look at that. So I like to commit that to everyone. And after that, once you decided to make that 30-day challenge, the 90-day challenge is in 90 days you start to build a plan. So a lot of us have dreams and goals, but a dream or an idea or what you want to achieve or a goal without a plan is just thoughts in your head. So you need to put together a plan that will help you sustain this 30-day challenge, which I call the 90-day challenge, which is steady online income in 90 days. I want to commit that to every one of us. So part one, we'll talk about the internet, online income by the numbers, and internet pillars. Are we happy to go on? Go forward. Thank you. So what's the internet? The best way for me to explain what the internet is to take it away from you. So let's imagine you cannot use your bank cards at the teller, at the POS machine again. Let's imagine you cannot use your mobile phone again. Let's take that all away from you. Understand what the internet is. The internet is, next slide, is the environment that connects the world today. And this tries to show you that the whole world is connected by wires. Yes, there are wires that connect one switch to the other, one device to the other, but the internet is an environment where people actually now build their businesses, build their lives. So you want to make an order, you want to order pizza for dinner, you call somebody, and then you give them your credit card, and they punch it in, and they get money from their account. You don't need to pretend cash. We talk about Uber, we talk about Airbnb. It's the internet that provides the platform for all this. 30 years ago, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, banking was not the way it was, right? You actually bank at a branch. You collect your money, you spend cash. But now, you don't have to go to that branch anymore. I mean, when I started working in South Africa, I never went to my bank for about maybe 4 years. The bank, the agent, what do you call it?
A private bank.
Yeah, private bank came to my office, opened the account for me. I signed the documents, she took it away. She gave me the cards, and I just kept paying. I never went to the bank. That was impossible 20 years ago. You have to go to the bank, right? And then even when to collect money, you have to use a check. We still use checks now. But then you have those cards that you can actually spend your money anywhere in the world. You don't have to go to the bank to collect money. That's what the internet provides. So imagine they took away the internet from us. Where would we be? Here.
Can I give you some context? So a lot of people sometimes think the internet is this super new thing. Yes, it's new. But you know scripture that says there's nothing new under the sun? It's true. So the internet writes of spectrum. How many of you know we've had spectrum from time immemorial? Spectrum is what the word wrote on when God said, let there be light, and there was light. You don't believe me? How do you make a call now on a mobile device connected to nothing, but then she can hear it? How am I able to keep in touch with my family using WhatsApp technology, video calls, etc.?
Technology, radio technology.
But it's only human beings just being able to catch up to what God has put in place before, believe it or not. And I'd like the science geek to help me make this happen. But I wanted to be able to say that spectrum has been around from time immemorial. It's what your radio writes off of. Yeah? It's that particular platform that's been sitting there. But until the right mindset came to it and thought we're put together around it, we couldn't get to the point where we now have the internet. So tracking it back to the skill set in your hand, what have you had since time immemorial that you haven't done anything with as yet? What's the latent potential sitting there? Next slide.
No, we can continue.
Go ahead.
So unlike any other technology, the internet can be shaped into whatever you want it to be. Above all, it connects people and the world. So for example, the most important thing is the connection that the internet gives to people and to businesses. That's why businesses are being built on the internet, because if you can connect people, that means you can sell things to them, they can buy things from you, they can communicate easier. And that's what the internet provides us. Next slide, thank you. So we're going to look at online income by numbers. So in the room, who can guess how many internet users there are globally? So there are 7 billion people in the world, right?
6.5 billion.
Well, they say 7.
They're not counting all the people in Nigeria that are not registered.
6.5 billion internet users. Okay, that's a number.
6.5 billion internet users out of the 7 billion in the world. Okay.
Pretty much 90% of the world's connected.
Anybody? Any other numbers? Okay, so let's go to the next one. Wait, hold on, TT.
He sat me out of the room.
How many are in North America?
How many of those connected people?
Fraction.
Huh?
Small fraction.
Oh, so let's see, how many are in North America there, bro?
Nobody asking just in North America, how many are online?
Yeah.
So there's
200 million.
350 million people in North America, so I would say probably 349 of them.
Okay. How many of them from Canada are online? How many people are in Canada, and then how many of them are online?
36 million in Canada.
How many of them do you think are online?
90%.
25.
You guys have a lot of faith in this technology.
Okay, let's go on. Now let's
Really can't go.
I'm not pressing. I'm just saying the next one.
Facebook. How many Facebook users are there in the world?
It's about half the population.
Half the population of the world.
So 3.5 billion people.
Okay.
No, they have 100 and some million. They're not, there's no way it's 3.5 billion people on Facebook.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll see. In North America, how many Facebook users do we have?
No interest.
Probably most of it.
100
Yeah.
million.
80% of it.
80% of people on
In
Facebook.
Canada?
Say about the same, about 80%.
Okay. How many Google searches do you have in a day?
Me
No. In the world.
No.
Oh, in the world. Oh, that'd be 3 billion. He is 3 billion.
3 million.
You can go ahead now.
I can go ahead. Yay! I've got all the answers
No, there are 3.6 billion people
on the internet.
There are 320
Million of them.
in North America, 33 million in Canada,
33 million Canadians are online.
1.6 billion people on Facebook.
Yeah.
223 million
million people from the US and 22 million
from North America.
in North America.
Okay.
Now, Google searches, I'd like to show you this. I think the next slide does that. Now, this
Should I
picture,
go?
hold
Oh,
on,
no.
no. This picture, I promise you, Obama didn't take this picture when he realized that Trump was president. What did we do? Sorry, if you watch it, I was just joking around.
Next slide. Is the next slide?
Next slide. So let's look at the first.
We should click it.
Second one. I want to show you the Google searches that's happening right now.
Oh, I
So
love
it's rendering.
Yeah.
Three-
Live today.
This is live.
3.3 billion so far, and we're not yet at 12 noon
1.2 trillion searches
per year worldwide.
3.5 billion searches every day. So you can see that everyone is online. The whole world is going online, and this is just, we have not scratched it. We're just getting started. So this is just to show you that this is where the world is going, and we need to be prepared for it. Can you go back? Thank you. Let's look at this top 20. So these are the numbers, and I'll share this. Can you please pull up? I'll share this links with you. Thank you. In the notes I'll share with you. These are the top countries that use the highest internet users. Look at it. Where's Canada?
It's not there.
Canada.
Nigeria is.
Surprise.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So you can imagine that there are people actually getting this data, and staying on top of the data and presenting it to us for us to make a decision.
So this data is good to know the number of the population of a country that is online. So if you look at it, this is why Canada is not there. The population of the entire Canada is equivalent to the population of the people in one state in Nigeria. So that gives you context, right? So these statistics are great for you to have a sense of where people are sitting in terms of population. But what is more critical for you to begin to know as a business person online is how many of the people in your immediate space are actually consistently online. So there's a terminology we use is daily active users. Remember when I asked earlier in the morning how many people have been online today? And not everybody had indicated that. So we measure that kind of consistency as well. And that's the kind of data you should start looking at in terms of being online. You want me to go to the slides?
Yes, please. So I provided all these slides for us to be able to look at and reference for our research.
Yeah?
Something has changed. Okay. So
it went to full screen, back to full screen.
Yeah. So this is just like an overview of the world. Asia obviously is the top there because of the sheer numbers. North America is right there because of the numbers also. All these I provide for you in the slides that I'll share. And this is just setting context for what's going on. So I have a few what if scenarios. So let's look at North America. These are the countries in North America. These are the internet users. This is the population of the country. This is internet users. These are Facebook users. Where's Canada? Canada is 33 million, right? 22 million on Facebook. Next slide, please. What if you sold something to every internet user in the region that cost them $1 to buy?
Who can do the maths? Something worth $1 to 22 million people.
The answer is there, right there. Now, let's imagine you sell it not just once, you sell it
even if the tax
$1 every month.
So it's not every day.
You provide a service for people in North America, so like snowboarding, training, instructors, the website that has all that information.
And you charge them $1 a year. Let's even say a year, not a month.
To be able to have access to the information and your videos of what you do, skills, and all those things. Right. So it's, well, maybe people in Grenada or
Bermuda,
and So let's get it on next slide. Let's say 10% of people you sell something for them for $1.
2.2 million people. $1.
You take that, right?
He'll do it.
Next one.
Or to 5%. 1.1 million.
So let's say you're selling news or you're selling articles or something that is unique that you're selling on the internet for the internet users, and you have those numbers. Right. It's just something when you think about. Next scenario. What if you own WhatsApp?
How many of you know WhatsApp? Your hand should be up.
WhatsApp is like
WhatsApp.
WhatsApp is WhatsApp is an app on your phone that once you have internet access, you can call, you can video.
You never have to spend money on calls again. It's one of many platforms actually. I'm trying to see if I can get. So this is WhatsApp.
So it's a video call.
If I were to do an ad for them, video, chat, voice, groups. If I were to do an advertisement for them, I would say, WhatsApp is. I'm trying to do an advert here, darling. WhatsApp is the platform that helps me make sure I can be connected to my family when I'm away. So when my kids wake up in the morning, they wake up to mommy singing, "Good morning, Jesus, good morning, Lord." When they're going to bed at night, I say, "Good night, sleep tight, wake up bright in the morning light to do what is right in God's sight." So the only thing I'm actually missing is the touch. But it's much better than how long it would have taken me to write a letter and get it posted in ancient times. So this works for me. And guess what it costs me? As long as I'm online, which means the only cost I get is what I pay for data per month, which is usually uncapped, and I've paid it already. And this is where I stay connected to anybody. So if you're trying to reach me sincerely, if you give me a call, I don't have a Canadian number, but you can reach me on WhatsApp.
That's the good thing about WhatsApp. Are we doing a WhatsApp session here?
No, I'm just saying.
So the other thing about WhatsApp is Facebook owns WhatsApp now. They bought it over. Now,
so even though you're not
I said this to say this, when WhatsApp started, it was free. But 3 years into their existence, or I don't know exactly when, they said they were going to go and charge everyone $1 a year to use WhatsApp. And I said, no, I'm not going to use WhatsApp anymore. Why would you charge me? I didn't remember that they said that. I still use it. And
So every year they literally take $1 off your existing data plan, and that's what it costs me per year. And how many
you don't
people?
even know that happens, right? You don't know. So next slide. So let's say you own WhatsApp, and see how it started in 2013. 14, 15, January 17, that's 1.2 billion people.
$1 a year from 1.2 billion people.
That's not bad.
Not bad at all, right?
It's residual income, sincerely. They've designed the app, they've encrypted it, it's just working. That's what you call wealth.
So there's an idea that just came to my mind now, and I'm just going to throw it out there. Let's say we had a Christian collaboration tool like a WhatsApp, and you made it available for people to share messages, communicate with each other, and you charge them for putting the thing together $1.
Even 20 cents
Or
a
50
year
cents.
to 1.2 billion people. How many of you would wail if you lost 20 cents? Like you would tear your hair out. I can't find 20 cents. I spent 20 cents. Oh my God, 20 cents is gone. It's like, I'll probably look at you like, seriously, 20 cents here. Here's $1. Be comfortable. You get what I'm saying?
So the moral behind this is, when you start at this 200,000 people, or whatever this number is at the time, don't expect this growth like immediately. It takes time. When the service is good, people will buy it. So whatever you're doing online, it's going to start like
Consistency.
Or if you're consistent and keep improving your service, whatever you're providing on the internet, you get these numbers. Next slide. So we're going to go to the next section that talks about online income pillars. So these 3 sections, or three pillars, I call one service, one product, and the other one reach. The first one, service, talks about offering services on the internet. So for example, you like reading books, you can be a proofreader. You like writing, you can be a blog writer or a website writer. Things that you can actually do. You like singing, you can sing for people. You can help people create music.
Please note he said you like singing, not that you're an opera singer or you have the voice of Celine Dion. You're a singer. There are people who are actively looking for people who sing off key. Okay? So don't disqualify yourself.
So the other thing is type of skills that you can talk. You can make a phone call. That's a skill. That's a service that you can offer. Now, when we go to the product, that's things that you can actually sell, either physical or electronic. So, for example, my sister here sells computers. That's a physical product. Let's say I sell things on Amazon. I sell aprons. That's a physical product. But then, if I had a unique skill, like I can softboard or snowboard, I can build that into an ebook and sell it as an electronic product to internet users in North America.
Can I use an example? So how many people again knit in the room? Knit.
Knit.
Yeah.
How many of you can knit?
I can't.
How many people can knit?
I can't.
So how many of you know that that's a dying skill?
Yes.
Yeah.
So how many of you know that people of my generation, for example, and generations younger than me, are actively searching online for where they can learn how to knit? My grandmother is no more. I can't really learn from her. My mother, she doesn't know how to knit. So that's a skill set already that is unique in different ways. You teach it, you sell actual products you make from it. Great ideas
So
around
let me build a product for you, and this is how it works. Let's say knitting is a niche market that we want to get into. I want to get a product there. We can get a physical product out there. We can get electronic product out there. I would say I would rather go with the electronic product because you cannot stop the reach. Physical products, you have to worry about shipping and all
the
that
logistics, etc.
So what I would do if I knew how to knit is I will come up with a series of let's say 5 lessons on knitting.
How to knit what's great for this weather?
Afghan.
A scarf. Or it's getting to spring, going to summer.
Shawl.
How to knit a shawl or a shrug or a what do we call them? A camisole.
So what I will do is I will build a learning series around that, videos and short write-ups. So I will sell the book, the ebook, how to learn knitting, five important things to learn about knitting.
Knitting in 5 steps.
And I'll put it on platforms on the internet and sell them. Now, that whatever you sell that thing for, once you can do your marketing properly to the right people, so you don't want to sell knitting to people in Saudi Arabia because it's hot there, they're not going to use it, right?
Except you're knitting pashminas.
Yeah, so you target your market and you start selling. Do you know that product can still make money for you 20 years down the line because people will still want to learn how to knit 20 years from now? So that is what they call residual income. You've done the work once, and that product is electronic. People can download it and buy it from you anytime. Forever.
And ever and ever. Even if you were selling each video at, and this is an example, $1 each for the next 20 years. Over and over and over and over and over.
So we get into the details of how we can develop products. So the difference between services and products is products are things that you can actually, physical or electronic. Services are things that you need to do for yourself. Now, the gurus of internet marketing say that this should be your 20% of this should be what you do online. 80% should be here because we have limited time. So for example, if you're doing work on Fiverr and you're making calls, you have only 24 hours, right? But what you do here is limitless. Once you have the product out there, you can keep selling. So you should build your business 20% in services and 80% in products. So that the products can, that's where your money and your investments can start making money for you. Because if you have that ebook out there and you have the video series out there, people just keep selling it and it's just keep buying. Sorry, people just keep buying it from you and they keep sending you money for what you've done 20 years back. Right? That's just it. So reach, the third part, Facebook and Google. Why are these important? They are the top platform providers for reach. So for example, you're looking to reach people, we saw the numbers for Facebook, we saw the numbers for search. People are searching for stuff. So if your information is on Facebook or on Google, you are sure to get people to look for you and find you there. So you have a product or you have a service you want to offer, you have people that help you get there. Those are people that we talk about reach. Yes. So let's have a quick look at these people. Fiverr is one of the tools I'm going to look at, a major tool that I'll consider for, and I'll tell you why. This is what they make per month, or the revenue per month. 15.2 million monthly goes through Fiverr. Google has 25.8 billion in,
every quarter
in 2016. And Amazon is the top. And I'll show you another link that also talks about Amazon. The top 135 billion revenue in 2016. And these links I'll provide for you to do your research. Next slide. Can we look at this? So I wanted to show you the top internet companies in the world. Right there you have Amazon, Google, and Facebook. And these are the revenues. And this is live data. So just saying, no pressure. There's opportunity right there. So and the important thing for me is there are tons of providers of different services on the internet that can make money. But you want to partner with success, right? You want to go where people have been successful. You don't want to create your own room to success. These guys already have the numbers to help you succeed. And if it's just a fraction of it that you're making or that you're working on and you're getting your income, that would be perfect. Let's go to the next slide. Oh, time for break.
We're going to jump through.
Before we jump through, any questions?
Or anybody want a break?
What was that, Fiverr?
Yeah, we'll get there now. Fiverr is FIVER.com. Okay. Questions? Is anybody being helped? Anybody getting information?
Is this useful for you? Not you, Pitt, the gentleman behind you. Yes, you. Is this useful?
Pardon?
Is this useful for you?
Oh, I'm learning something, yeah.
You're learning something. That's great. I asked him because he's the social media generation. If I asked you, how much time do you spend online? Are you on Facebook?
I don't use Facebook.
You don't use Facebook?
Surprisingly enough, I don't use social networks.
In general?
In general.
What do you use?
Xbox.
I don't have an Xbox.
What do you do when you go online, apart from schoolwork?
Like, maybe just watch videos or...
Watch videos on YouTube?
Yes.
Thank you. Yep. It is social media. So that's one place to be able to catch someone like him. So I'm sure you watch gaming videos. Yeah, kind of comedy skits.
Some.
Do you watch those box unwrapping videos? That's like really weird. But actually, I will tell you, that's one of the highest grossing videos on YouTube.
What is it?
People, somebody like, you know, you could sit like that. So there are people who watch people do that and they make money from it. I'm telling you because I know I have this information. I work for this institution. Okay? Literally all day. That's what she does. So mom, dad, brother, are you in the room? Please, you can, with her permission or blur her face, because I'm making money from that. There are people who do that. But this highest grossing videos, literally, these people are so good at unwrapping things, not wrapping them, but unwrapping them. Saying, wow, look at this beautiful box. This is amazing. Wow, look at that. It's a beautiful Barbie. They make money from it.
Serious?
Yes. So if when you go home, one of your first few sidebar assignments, look for gift unboxing videos on YouTube or anywhere. Unboxing videos. Yeah. You will be amazed at the number of views. So at the very highest level, and we'll get to the detail now, at the very highest level in terms of videos on YouTube particularly, are cat videos and dog videos and unboxing videos and what else? People gaming. Sorry?
Cutting sand.
Cutting sand, all kinds of things. You will be amazed because people are bored and they go online and they're just, you know, so make money from people's boredom. Why not? Okay? Next.
So before we go into this section, I'll tell you a story about a young man called Peng Jun. He had the opportunity to grow up in Malaysia and he did well in school. The story is online, you can look for it. He went to university in the UK, I think, but then he got mixed up with the wrong crowd. So he said in his room was like a 24-hour sauna where people were just getting high. He said he didn't get high, but I mean, he spent 8 hours going to school in 3 years. Only 8 hours in school, and he came back home with no degree.
And he was actually on scholarship.
Yeah. So the Malaysian government said to him that, well, Penjun, we sent you to England to school, but you didn't do very well. So you owe us $50,000. And
he had to pay back the scholarship money.
So what he said he used to do when he was in school was just play games. So he used to play computer games and World of Warcraft was the name of the game I was playing. So after a few years that he had struggled at work and was wondering what he's going to do with his life. His life started off well and it ended up in the teaching. He knew that people made money from the internet, so he started doing a lot of research on how. Then he came up with a product, a 30-something page ebook, typed in Word, Microsoft Word, on how to play this game. And he put it out there. And he started watching it first day, second day, it didn't sell. I think it was 6 months after it made the first sale. And he said that once he made that first sale, it was not a life-changing amount of money, but it was a life-changing event. Because he realized that if he could actually sell this thing, right, once, he can do it again, and he can sell other things. He's now told one of his friends that doesn't know how to play the piano. So this is what I'm going to say. This is what Jane and my good friend will do when they get home. She knows how to play the piano. You're going to take a video of her playing the piano and teaching people how to play the piano and selling that. Because this guy told me about a friend of his that doesn't know how to play the piano. Got a teacher to teach somebody how to play the piano by ear for 8 hours, paid them $300 or something, and he sells this video in series. That's something you can do. So the moral of the story is you might be a lover of playing games, but you can turn your passion, or written our passion down, you can turn that passion into something you can actually sell on the internet and make income from it. So I think we're going to go to the next slide. So we're all here now. So in this section, we're going to talk about Fiverr, Upwork, Amazon, and Kindle. Now, I'm going to focus a lot about Fiverr because it's a very unique platform. On Fiverr, you don't need to pay anything to start making money. And that's the best way to start. On other platforms like Amazon and the KDP, you need to pay subscription and all those kind of things. But Fiverr gives you a unique environment where you can actually offer services now, not products, services and start getting online income from there. And then start building the money that you're making online into stuff you can use to invest in other parts of your online business. So how does Fiverr work? We'll go into that detail, but I'm going to focus a lot on Fiverr because it's a unique tool that we can all use to start making income as low as $5 for 1 gig.
And a disclaimer, so these are not the only platforms that you can make money from online, but these are the ones that we have been using that we think is a good entry point, low risk, but really good yield for anyone who has an interest to explore in this. So if you know of other platforms, please feel free to review them as well. But we're just focused on this so that, you know, we don't want you to come and say, oh, invest. We've been to seminars like that. Invest 10,000, you get 25 million. I'm just saying, this is not what this is about. This is low risk, and the yield you get is based on what you put in terms of your time.
So you want to ask me, how does Fiverr make money if you don't have to pay anything? So so this is the typical thing that you can.
I can go. I don't want you going now.
Yeah, so I'm trying to myself. Thank you. So how does Fiverr work? I'm looking for somebody to help me make 10 phone calls to prospective businesses in Barrie. I'm trying to book an appointment to see their CIO or their CEO. I go to Fiverr and say, I'm looking for someone that can make phone calls and make appointments for me. And they find my wife. And I say, okay, well, how much do you do this for me? You do, okay, I'll make 1 call for you for $5. No, I'll make 3 calls for you for $5. That means for 10 calls, work out the maths. Fine. I'll order her a gig. I'll give her the numbers. I give her the script and the appointment book. And she called, hello, my name is so. I'm working for this company. We'd like to book an appointment to see so. And she books the appointment and she gets paid for what she's done. That's how Fiverr works. Now, how does Fiverr get their money? So let's say the deal costs $5. The gig costs $5. Fiverr will take $1 on every $5 that you make. Make sense?
Fair enough, right?
It's fair.
Because they bring you the work, they provide the platform, they also help to promote you. Sounds fair, right?
So they don't pay. They don't charge you upfront. They charge you on every gig that you do. So for example, let's say you make you.
So like you can go to Fiverr.com like when we get home.
Yeah.
And find jobs on there as well.
Yeah.
That do great from home.
But what I'll do is I'll show you how you create your gigs. So what happens is that you create a particular gig around whatever you want to do. So for example, for phone calls, you create a gig around it.
So a gig, as in the traditional sense of it, is like you create the your profile.
Your profile.
And then you get work. The work you get is called a gig. Just to explain the terminology.
Okay, yeah,
it's not like a musical gig, you know. It's not already.
So you create your profile on Fiverr, and then you have access to about, I think, maybe 10 gigs. You can create different type of streams of work that you want to do.
Remember the 10 skill sets that you have, or the 10 what was the other 10 thing? Passion or skill. So you could create 10 gigs from that, meaning 10 streams of work areas that you're looking for. So you can tell people how to knit, you can ask people, you can transcribe, you can make phone calls. Everybody here can have a gig of making phone calls.
So,
yeah?
My friend, do you know how to design a website?
Pardon? Do you know how to design a website? Do you know how to code at all?
No.
Not yet.
Are you interested?
Courses.
So, for example, if you knew how to design a website, those gigs go for between $400 to $1,800.
So Fiverr can do that for you?
You can do that on Fiverr.
So if you have that skill set, you go on Fiverr, say, I have this skill set, and then someone from anywhere in the world who's looking to design a website can come to you and say, hey, I have this work. Are you interested? And you bid for it and say, oh yeah, I'd like to be able to do this work. I can do this work for you for this amount of money. Or they can say, I'll pay you this amount if you can do this work for me in this amount of time. And that's how you build your profile. You do the work, you get paid. Fiverr takes its 10. It's about 10.
No.
Takes the 1/5 of it, and that's it.
So there's another person in the room, right? I've seen lovely pictures that you draw.
He's a graphic.
You've got amazing talent. On Fiverr, you can actually use your skills there, and I'll show you that.
Okay, so if you're a painter.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Illustrator.
Yeah.
If you're good with computer graphics and PowerPoint presentation, what do they call that tool again? Adobe Photoshop.
Those kind of things.
Yeah, so
Mm.
Photoshop.
My brother, he started up a company, he needed a logo.
Yes.
So he just went on and he asked people to come up with a logo and then he just paid the person.
Exactly, the one that was best fit his needs, right?
Yeah. So you can logo design is part of it also. So many things, so many categories that you can actually, you know. Next slide. So this is Fiverr. Fiverr is the world's largest marketplace for digital services, and the digital service offering there is called a gig. That's what I'm talking about. Next slide. I think we talked about this. Can we watch this video?
Sure, sure.
What's the time now?
Oh, we're so good.
Okay.
11.
Uh-huh.
Yes. Let's watch the video.
Funny.
This is Fiverr Selling 101 Fiverr.
Can you pause it?
I'm making this video course.
Are we watching everything?
Yeah, it's not
It's
long.
6 minutes.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's important.
6 minutes.
Okay.
You'll just have to talk faster.
For you guys, because I am a top rated seller on Fiverr. And I
Oh my
figured there needs to be some free resources out there for people who
I can't see the room.
So where's the volume? You should just look for the one that says volume.
Next one down.
Okay.
So
No, it should not be volume.
You're in the settings now.
Yeah.
So
You need to exit. Can you see it?
That's not one of your skills, is it?
Sound settings.
Not available.
Okay. All right. Let's just play it.
no.
The remote's
With the
right
other
there.
side.
No, this is.
I have no idea how to sell anything on it.
That is the
When I
one.
started out,
That should be the remote.
Looks like a remote with that.
look at is my
No.
Yeah.
It's the volume, yeah.
It's gonna, yep, keep going, you got it.
Is it going up?
Mm.
No, it's not.
No,
For me.
it's just,
Did you look at this?
that's just the video that's going on. See it?
Everybody push
There
it
you go,
there.
there you go, perfect.
It's also for people who are complete
There we go.
beginners to Fiverr, who have
Should I
maybe
stop?
heard of it or
It's
haven't
okay,
heard
it's
of it, and have never used the site before. This is perfect for you. I'm gonna walk you through everything from creating your account to Corey. This is Fiverr's. Hey guys, my name is Corey. This is Fiverr Selling 101 Fiverr for Complete Beginners. I'm making this video course for you guys because I am a top-rated seller on Fiverr, and I figured there needs to be some free resources out there for people who are completely new to Fiverr, who have no idea how to use it, have no idea how to sell anything on it. When I started out, I just did some trial and error and everything. I didn't have anything to look at to help me. I decided to make this for you guys, just to help you guys get started. It's a very, very basic course. So if you're looking for advanced stuff, I will have a course for that. But if you are completely new to Fiverr, this is perfect for you. And I'll get into why in a few seconds. So who's this course for? This course is for people who want to learn how to sell on Fiverr. It's also for people who are complete beginners to Fiverr, who have maybe heard of it or haven't heard of it, and have never used the site before. This is perfect for you. I'm going to walk you through everything from creating your account to selling on Fiverr. So how to get the most out of this course. Number one is follow along. This is not required, but this is just how I learned, and I find it's pretty easy for most people. If you just follow along with me, you do what I'm doing as I'm creating the account or creating the gig, and that's how you're going to set up your account. We just follow along with me. And second is just to ask questions. If I don't cover anything in any of these videos, let me know. Ask me a question. I'm more than happy to help anyone. So first, what is Fiverr? Fiverr is a marketplace where anyone can buy or sell a service or good for $5. An ad on Fiverr is called a gig. So when you're selling something, you're going to be creating a gig, and that gig entails what exactly you're going to be offering for $5. It's going to contain pictures of what you're offering or a video, as well as a description. And when people are browsing Fiverr, they're browsing through the gigs or ads on Fiverr. And most of the gigs on Fiverr are services. So while you do see people sell products on Fiverr, I find personally that you will probably be more successful on Fiverr if you're offering a service. it's hard to sell products on Fiverr because of the way the culture is on Fiverr, just the nature of this website. A lot of people come to it looking for a service, specifically especially the ones that are in demand right now or trending on Fiverr. Fiverr is free for anyone, so it's not going to cost you anything to sign up and start selling. But they do take 20% from every sale, so that's actually quite a bit. For every $5 you sell on Fiverr, they're going to be taking $1. So you're going to end up with $4 American profit from every order you get. But on the bright side, there are things called gig extras, which allow you to add extra services to your gigs and charge $5 more for them. So, for example, if I'm doing WordPress installation for $5, I can offer to also install a basic template for another $5, or I can also offer install all the best plugins, for $10 or however much. Who should sell on Fiverr? So if you're a freelancer like myself, if you do web design, graphic design, photography, writing, anything like that, Fiverr is perfect for you. If you're looking for a second or side income, Fiverr is great for you too. Most people, I would say, on the safe side, make about $500 or so a month on Fiverr, which is quite a bit, considering how much work you probably are going to do on Fiverr, which is not much. Fiverr is also great for people who are looking to make money online or looking to work at home. So I know a lot of people that when they're trying to earn a full-time income online, they actually start with Fiverr. I find most people have success on Fiverr pretty quickly, within a few months or so, and it gets the ball rolling, to start you for working at home. It also allows you to create contacts or connections, because depending on what you're selling, for example, if you're a web designer, you're going to have a lot of people approaching you who need a website, and that allows you to expand or upsell other services of yours off the website, off of Fiverr. Also, Fiverr is great for people with unique skills and talents. So if you have this very unique skill or something you're not seeing being sold on Fiverr, you can monetize it. There's an opportunity for that as well. You do see a lot of bizarre and weird gigs, so why not? If that's one way you can make money, do it. Who buys on Fiverr? So small business owners tend to go to Fiverr to outsource a lot of their work, such as content, SEO, video testimonials, things like that. Also, website owners, people who are looking to get their logo design, people looking to get their website ranked better on Google, they go to Fiverr. Freelancers like myself, we're looking to outsource work. So if you have a project and you want to outsource the logo or outsource some of the programming or installation, a lot of freelancers go to Fiverr. Writers, so if you're looking for someone to proofread or to write a book review or even write you some content, people go to Fiverr as well. And this is a new trend that you see app developers buy on Fiverr, because they're looking for people to design their app icons, looking for people to test their apps, to write reviews, stuff like that. So that's basically it, guys. That's it for this video. Thanks so much for watching it. I'm gonna have a lot more. I'm gonna actually walk you through creating an account in the next video. And I'm gonna be walking you guys through basically everything in this course. I'm gonna capture my screen.
Okay.
So I don't know that actual disclaimer, but this is what I normally do. When I'm looking for information, I just go online. I go to YouTube and do some research here and find some good material. You might tell me that I would love to design a website, but I don't know how to do that. Just go to YouTube, you can find loads of videos on how to do it there. If there's any skill that you're looking for, YouTube is the first university you need to go to, because there's lots of information that you can actually learn on the internet. All right, so that's for Fiverr. This is a unique story of a young lady. I shared this link also with you so you can read it. But the important thing about her is that she was in a paid job and she had debts, and her rent was more than her green, right? But then she started earning money on Fiverr, and she's a top seller on Fiverr. She quit that job and now earns about $9,000 US dollars on Fiverr monthly.
How many of you can guess what her gig is?
Oh yeah.
What do you think her gig is? That she can earn $9,000 from it. How many of you think 9,000?
Yeah, she does a voiceover.
Thank you. I wasn't sure anybody had seen it. How many of you have a voice? I'm grateful. I have a voice. How many of you believe that your voice is unique? How many of you have ever thought of making money from your voice? How many of you are going to start thinking about that now?
So on Fiverr, she does that. She does, and if you look at her gigs, when you get home, you can look at all these things. You will see how she does American accents. She does
British accents
and all that for her gigs, and she has loads of things out there on Fiverr. And she makes decent.
I'd say $9,000 pretty darn good.
Yeah.
That's a lot more than you're getting from your just over broke.
From home.
Yeah.
Do they take the taxes and stuff off that? Or is that like taxes?
You probably have to do your returns for Fiverr. Yeah. When you go over a particular threshold in terms of taxes in general, then you begin to declare a bit more. But
so on Fiverr, what happens is they pay you your money and then you have to declare it.
Yeah.
So what?
It's like you would do your taxes normally. You know, this is what I've earned and all of that.
The other thing is that how do you get paid on Fiverr? They put the money there. You can move it into any account you want. You can move it into an online bank. You can move it into a physical bank. Whatever you want to do.
Or invest it.
I mean, to get access to the cash. Next slide. Thank you. So I'm going to show you. Anyone wants to see a quick
demo
of Fiverr?
Yes.
Okay.
How do you do this? There are
You
people
can
watching.
hold this for me. Thank you. So.
You become Vanna White now, TT.
Sorry?
You become Vanna White now.
Yeah.
Is a voiceover like a web series?
No. So it's when you listen to adverts, the voices that are going, "Oh, welcome to Cineplex."
Morgan Freeman narrating.
Yeah.
Like a
narrator.
Yeah.
You do a voice, you do a narration to something.
A narration to something, or maybe you just actually reading out a story, etc.
Or you know the.
Or doing cartoon voices.
IVRs, where you call a bank and say, "Welcome to Scotiabank. Please you."
That's another one.
Oh, okay.
Or even voicemails. She does voicemails. Hello, sorry you've reached Olu's phone. He's not available right now. You can contact him. People do that.
This time to this time.
Yeah.
And you can do that for businesses. Businesses sometimes require it, etc.
So the website is fiverr.com. What you see when you go there looks like this, and you can then sign up and join. I'll send you guys a link to join from my own profile.
I was gonna say that you could just go fiverr.com.
Yeah.
Join.
Yeah. I think I would like to show you how to create your profile. Okay. Because you can just go there and create it anyhow, but there are keywords you need to use. There are interesting things that we actually look at in the webinar. But what I'll do is I'll attach a document to the series I'm going to send to you that shows you the steps and what you need to put in your Fiverr when you create your profile, because those are very important. It's not just like creating how to make the best out of it. There are ways that you need to do it. So, so remember we talked about categories and things that you have. These are the categories that you have on Fiverr. You have graphics and design. You have digital marketing, writing for those of us that like to write, video animation, music, fun and drink, programming, business, and fun and life. Please help me click on graphics and design. So under graphics and design, this is what you have. Look at this: logo design, business cards, illustrations, cartoons. Oh, you've got up, sorry. Flyers, book covers, web and
mobile design.
All these things. These are the categories. I just want to do this. Come down.
Come down or up?
Oh, yeah, go. Yeah, so let's go to digital marketing. Just leave it there. Mouse over it. These are the categories right there. Let's go to writing. Resume and cover letters, proofreading and editing, translation. So if you can speak French, Spanish, you can actually translate. Creative writing, business copywriting, research and summaries, articles and blogs, all that. Video. Let's go to videos. I wish Joel was here because this is his own thing. He can do video editing, lyrics and music videos, spokesperson, testimonials, intros and outros of logos and all that. Music, let's go to music and audio. Look at this, voiceover, mixing and mastering, production and composers, singer, songwriters, session musicians, singers, jingles and drops, sound effects. Then we go to the techie part, WordPress. This is very hot right now, WordPress. For web designers. Advertising, let's go that one. Music promotions, radio, banners, flyers and handouts, business, virtual assistant. So you need somebody to help you be your secretary.
You don't have to be a PA or an administrator and be in an office. You could actually be for one person who has an organization somewhere in Cambodia, for example, who needs an administrative assistant with the kind of skills you bring to it.
So presentations, legal. There's one part, I don't know where that is, lifestyle. I think it's lifestyle. There's medical stuff there, right? Health and nutrition, relationship advice. Now, that's one thing this generation needs, right? You need advice from people that have actually navigated their relationship and they're married for 40, 30.
So Olu has actually, there's been a gig where the lady asked you for career advice.
Yeah.
And she paid $5 for it. How many of you go around dispensing advice, whether people want to hear it or not? I'm here, I'm sorry.
So spiritual and healing, there you find some strange things there. But as a Christian, you can put your own gig there to help people get through spiritual.
Look at this, I love this.
Pranking and stuff.
You should totally do this. Sorry, what's your name?
Pranking and
What's your name? Yeah.
Daniel.
Huh?
Daniel.
Daniel. Okay, you and I should talk about this one.
Pranks and stunts.
Oh, totally.
Let's go.
Yeah?
So these are the categories. Let's go on to this. These are the categories that you have in Fiverr. Makes sense. So remember our top 10 skills. Now let's try to map it to the categories.
How many of you now think that, you know, I do have potential?
More than I thought.
Yeah? Much more than you think.
Yeah, to start thinking more about what you can do.
Yeah, it makes me go back to the parable of the talents in the Bible. That God gave one 5, another one 4, another one 1. There's nobody that doesn't have a talent. Can you speak? Are you able to speak? You have a talent. You can use your voice.
What do you have in your hands?
My arms.
Yeah? What do you have in your heart? What do you have in your mind?
You can help people write. I mean, the first time I was given a gig to write a blog post was my first gig. Was the first gig I ever did, and it was on the
You did it?
Yeah, this I did myself.
You did?
The first one I did myself.
Did somebody have?
So,
and that's the other thing. You can do it as a team. It really works.
So for subsequent ones that I've done for blog posts, I always run it through her because she's the one that loves to read. I don't really like read abstract things. Okay, so this first one was the second day of our training for this program that I went for, and I just got this message. Please, I'd like to have 5 career advices that I can post on LinkedIn. I'm like, okay, really, wow. Okay, I can do this. I did it. I said, "Whoa, this is amazing. This is fantastic. You need to write. I need to show you. I could show you the
rave review.
It's fine. It's not about me, right?" So I didn't know I could do that, and somebody paid me $5 for it. For them. That was way back last year, though. All right, let's go to the next slide. I think we're doing very well. The next one is Upwork. Upwork is more formal. It's less. It's the same principle where you work for somebody online, and they pay you. You don't have to be physically there. But it's different from Fiverr because it's more professional. Can you next slide? It's a global freelancing platform where businesses and independent professionals collaborate remotely. So for example, you're a project manager, you're a tester, or you're an application developer.
Or you're a medical doctor.
Yeah. You will go to Upwork and create a profile. Now, what Upwork also does is if you say that you are a web designer, they will ask you to do some tests. That's why it's different from Fiverr. You do some tests and they score you, and so that they put.
They will rate you.
They rate you
in terms of your
expertise.
expertise.
How much you know the subject matter. So if you're a project manager, you probably ask you to do some tests to show that you have skills, and people then will come to you and give you work. So if you're a project manager, I'm saying this a lot because this is what I do on there. Is somebody will come and say, I want you to manage the project for me remotely for the next 6 months. and this what are your fees? And give them their fees, and they give you a deliverables, and you agree on the terms and everything, and you work remotely, which is really great. I mean, so what? Next time, I have some videos, but I think I'll pass on this because it's more of the professional, and it's self-explanatory. But as I said, Fiverr is what I'll focus on
as an entry point.
As an entry point into creating online income. So I'll share these links in the presentation I'm going to send to you. Let's go. The next one is Amazon. I'm sure everybody knows Amazon is good.
How many people have shopped on Amazon? Christmas gifts,
how many people are
last minute birthday gifts.
How many people are selling on Amazon?
Or any platform like that.
So what we do on Amazon is we find a niche market, and this is what you do online really, and this is what you do in business. You find a niche market, a niche product, you produce it, you get it
niche
from China,
service.
If
you get it from the right source, whether it's China or
because
somewhere
it's cheaper
else.
to get it from. But now there's sometimes you get stuff that is cheaper here, and you can sell it with other stuff. So for example, you want to sell this. Let's say this is a good product that's selling. You buy it for $5, and then you add something that goes with it. What can you do with this?
Logo. Like
A logo, or you put like
another product that can go with it.
a nice, yeah, to keep
holder,
one.
something holder. Maybe something I can put it on something nice, and maybe it's worth $10, but you buy it bulk for $5, and the other thing you buy for, let's say $3. So the total cost of production is $8, and you sell it for $12 on Amazon or $20.
I have a story. I bought this sweatshirt on Amazon. I watched a series on Show Me, and the main character, it was set in Manhattan. The main character had crazy clothes, and she would wear hilarious t-shirts. And I saw this sweatshirt. It said kale on it. It really tickled my funny bone. And I went, I really want that sweatshirt. So I went online, and it is sold for about $80 US.
Wow.
And I was like, oh, I get shipped from the US. I can't justify, that's crazy. So I just started Googling it. Of course, that's my favorite thing to do is Google it, and it started hitting images, and I saw this. It's a knockoff, and I got it on Amazon for $23, including shipping.
Exactly.
So like you can sell knockoffs on something that's wildly popular. And
so that's a really, 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 really good point.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Can we look at where it was made? Do you know where it was made?
Well, Dave, you tell.
Someone tell? Made where?
In Honduras.
In Honduras.
And this is it's a cheap knockoff. It's a cotton polyglot. It's not it's not the real thing. Like it's not.
Except you mentioned, so I have a rule actually. Before I go, the only thing I really spend excessive money on that I think is excessive are my shoes. I love shoes. Absolutely adore shoes. But sincerely, I believe that the price doesn't determine the beauty or the good looks. If you didn't tell us it was a knockoff, we would not know. I've been looking at your t-shirt all day saying, Kale, you must really love your veggies or something. You know? But one key thing she said I want you to latch into is when you follow trends, what's trending right now? What's hot? What are people focused on? How can you take that and combine it with, you know what I said about there's nothing new under the sun? How can you take completely disparate things that are really trending and make them work together? Then that becomes your niche. Think outside the box.
Okay, so Amazon is the largest, and we saw that already, the largest internet-based retailer in the world by total sales and market capitalization. That's Amazon. Next slide. I'd like us to watch this video because it's a Canadian video. The guy shares his story on what he's doing.
Hey everyone, it's Charles here from Edmonton, Alberta, Canada, and today I just wanted to make a video and share my story of how I went from zero to over $30,000 in sales per month selling on Amazon. Okay, because I know there's a few different stories of people out there, and most of them are in the States, but I just wanted to share my experience as a Canadian. So, today it's June 27th, 2016, and I started selling in July 2015. And as you can see in my other video, I'll show you all the all the figures on my Amazon Seller Central. So just to be as transparent as I can. So I started a year ago, and I had found a good product and got a sample. Everything was good, and so I actually ordered 500 units, and so the 500 units plus shipping to an Amazon warehouse in the States, because I do use FBA, which is fulfillment by Amazon, costed me about $1,800 US. So that's my investment, my initial investment, and that's how I got started. So I launched my product, and sales were great and getting better every month. And then December was really, really crazy just for one product. My sales were at between 20 and 30 units per day. And so I kept my job during that time, and I reinvested all profits into the business, right? So I just piled up so that I could buy a second product. So that's what happened. In January, I ordered a second product and started selling that one, and that one went really well as well. And then in March, I decided it was time to quit my job because I was making more money part-time than working full-time. So it was a no-brainer for me. So now I've been pretty much retired, you could say, for 3 months. So it's been awesome. And I'm just sharing because it is possible for you too, right? So you just have to work hard and find a good product for sale, and just keep working at it, right? Because that's one way. There's many different ways of how to make money online or different business assets, but that's one way that I found that is one of the easiest ones. And but you gotta diversify a little bit, because from what I see, Chinese manufacturers start to sell directly on Amazon. So there are still opportunities on Amazon, definitely, but as a long-term thing, just not sure about that. Because like I said, Chinese manufacturers selling directly, they just sell way cheaper than anyone else, right? You can't even compete with them because you buy it from them, right? So yeah, so just thought I'd share. And if any of you have any questions, especially Canadians, because I know it's typically hard for us to find like courses and stuff for Canadians, because most of it is made for the USA, which is good because most of the things are the same, but then there's different challenges for people selling that are situated outside of the United States, right? So yeah, you can reach out to me if you have any questions, and I'll try to help as much as I can. So that is my story, and you guys have a great day.
So as I normally say, disclaimer, I don't know him. I just found him on the internet, but I'll share the link with you if you want to go ahead and chat to him. The next platform that I'll talk about is KDP. Now, KDP is very, very, very unique. This is self-publishing ebooks. You don't need to talk to a publisher. You don't need to talk to anybody. Just talk to Amazon. You publish your books, paperback, either for the Kindle or even physical books. There's direct publishing by Amazon also. So what this helps you to do is, those that like reading novels, or romantic novels, or Christian novels, you can write short books. If you like to write, you can write short books. You can write about your experience in a story form. So for example, you had how you met your wife, and you just give them, or how you met your husband. You give the characters different names, make it interesting, and that's it as well. And that's what happens on the KDP.
May I? How many of you think you can write? How many of you don't think you can write? Be honest. I held that belief for almost 10 years of my life. I remember my first degree is in English. Everybody can write. You just have to know the audience that you're appealing to. Okay? So I recall that my writing career actually started off. I used to write and publish in Pidgin. You guys might not all know about Pidgin English. But Pidgin English is like, instead of speaking like this, I'll be like, how na deal, waiting to happen. It's like broken English, but it's not broken English. It's a lingua franca across West Africa. And I did that for a number of years. But it got to a point I went to academia and they were like, you don't know how to write. I'm like, damn, I don't know how to write. And it affected the rest of me. But I was learning how to write for the academic environment. But I want to put it to everybody sitting in this room. You all have the capacity and the ability to write. You just have to write it. There's someone out there who appreciates the way you're writing because it's an expression of your thoughts and who will read your book. I'm bold to say that I can actually get all of you publishing in a week. How many of you have ever picked up those wisdom nuggets? That's like maybe 10 pages and it's just like maybe 10 words on each page. Do you really think you cannot do that? Everybody in this room can. My daughter can. Scribblings by a 4.5-year-old. You'd be surprised if I'm selling it for $1. And just you guys in this room, buy it. I've got pocket money for her toys for the rest of the year. Do you begin to see the context of what I'm saying? So all of you have potential. Stop limiting it. Stop thinking. I'm not asking you. This is not about becoming the next Nobel laureate. Okay? If you do become it, awesome. This is about being able to understand that you do have the ability within you. And stop thinking it's not worth anything. I totally love the two of them. To start writing, I've spoken to Roxy about this. To do more with your art, with your photography. Do more with the travels that you do. Write a story around burning your feet. You'll be surprised people will read it. And they'll be like, oh, where's Roxy off to next? The Adventures of Roxy.
Yeah.
The Adventures of Roxy and Pete. Okay, totally. You have to give me a cut of that. You guys will be doing this. Can you imagine the number of years you've been married and you're actually able to write about that? Amazing. A series that comes out every 2 weeks. I'll be waiting for it.
Where in the world are the rhymers?
Well, in the world are the rhymers. That's another one. Look at that. So really, within each of you, or the medical stories you can tell, of course, in anonymity, with anonymity, you know, think outside the box.
Now, thinking about outside the box is the first book series that I had, I didn't write it. I put the storyline together. I put the plot together. It's a six series novel series. I put the ideas together and I got somebody to write it for me.
So you can also be helping somebody be employed.
You don't have to actually write every line yourself. Put the story together, do your research, find the niche that you want to write the brief, and find a ghostwriter.
To help you do it, or somebody to edit it.
If Bill Clinton, right, can use a ghostwriter, why can't you use a ghostwriter?
How much will a ghostwriter cost?
$75 per book, depending on the size.
Or if you take it to Fiverr.
Yeah,
hey,
you go to Fiverr and find someone that
you see how they all begin to connect. Yeah. But there's so much potential sitting in this room. So much.
So how would you sell the books? Like, would you do it on here or
on KDP?
What would you charge? Like my son is I'm thinking my son, he is an excellent writer. So this would be a way for him.
So how much do they charge?
So this is it. This is what you do when you go online to work. You don't want to you don't want to be an outlier. You go to the niche that you're writing for and do your research and look for the top sellers there.
Okay.
You look at the type of books and the type of covers that they write, the number of pages, and you mirror that success. So for example, if it's in sports, for example, and they have the top sellers are selling the books for $5. Don't sell your own for $3. Don't sell your own for $10. Sell it around $5, maybe $4.
Again, you're a new entrant.
Yeah. Okay. So you mirror that success based on the niche that you are working in. Okay. So whatever you're writing in, well, so on KDP, you can go to KDP and look for top bestsellers, and go to the areas that you want. I can show you that.
But there's more detailed trainings, and again, this is why this is an introductory level to and this is why we try and focus on Fiverr, because with KDP, you do need a higher level of understanding of how the market works. It's more of a longer term investment. But literally, these are products that you, once you put together, you let it sit there and let your money work for you. Let your skill set work for you. Literally, yes, ma'am.
Well, if you already, like my daughter made a book and it's really good. It's really cute. And I thought maybe I should do that with it.
Yeah.
How would you go about it? Like it's already, she has cartoon figures and everything.
So we need to digitize it. That's the first step.
Yeah.
Understand again where the niche is in the where people are in that particular area of writing on Amazon or whichever platform you then choose. And then, once it's digitized, be able to put
it's
it.
sort of like a child for a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah.
Where she
Kids
lost
storybooks.
her mom.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah. So that's already a product you have. It's about being able to, I think it's a deeper conversation.
Yeah, it's a deeper conversation. I said we can't handle everything. But on the KDP, when you get to home and you're doing your research, look for bestsellers and then look for the categories that you're looking for. Child books, you find them there. You see the type of books, you see the covers, you see the storyline, they always put the description there. And you can then mirror that success for your book. So it can be a digital book and it can be a physical book. Amazon will print it for you, right? The direct publishing by Amazon.
That's what I want. Who prints it?
It's Amazon. You will send them the.
It's a book.
Yeah, so it's a physical book. There are two ways you can do it. You can continue to sell it as a physical product, which is more capital intensive, or you can complete, when I say digitize, you can convert it to an ebook. Meaning, so if you open my phone right now, I have over probably 30 something novels in my phone, which comes in handy when I'm moving around. So you digitize it. The platforms, a range of platforms are already in place where you can actually read, you can see the illustrations, etc. Parents can just put it on their kids' devices.
Oh, yeah.
So you would need to pay for that process to happen, from going from a physical book or even a manuscript with all of that to being able to make it ready for the various platforms. Okay, and then from there be able to sell it. But again, it's detailed steps to be able to make that happen. But I feel your excitement. That's something, when I'm doing like this, I'm not counting money. It means that I can feel the possibility in my fingertips. I don't know if you get it, but I get it. It's fine.
Is this an expensive process to have an actual physical paper?
Yeah.
To have the actual physical paperback.
Yeah, you just have to pay Amazon for their services.
Yes.
All you
So you produce it.
You produce the manuscript, then you give them the book cover, and they do the printing.
They'll print it and they'll do the shipping, and they get a percentage, and you get the majority of it actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
But there's quite a bit of outlay of money to.
Not a lot.
Yeah.
Not a lot.
You don't invest.
And that's why.
But it's just digital, like from my computer, download it to
to their
Amazon,
version,
and then they
print
can
it.
download it for themselves.
Yeah.
They print it out for you, so you don't need to worry about that. But
and then you can have the option, either people can then buy the ebook or they can buy the paperback as well.
So what I have to do is like copy it, put it on the computer to send it in. Because I had the book, well, I did, somewhere in there. My niece wanted it for a few bits.
Okay, so you don't know, you have to find it.
There's one book, right? We have to look at that. So what I would say is we need to have a longer conversation.
Yeah, let's have a longer conversation afterwards and see in terms of the
where
process.
we can actually help you push this to.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But because that book needs to be replicated.
I want to read it.
It really would.
What are the marketing outcomes of physical and digital prints?
The marketing outcomes. So the physical book versus the digital books.
Yes.
So physical books are limited by the number of people who actually end up picking it up and buying it. The sales, the gross sales are actually significantly, exponentially, give me another word, higher when it's ebooks. It's also less cost intensive. So the digital is less intense, is less is less cost, less expensive. That's what it is. It's not as cost intensive. Yeah, it's cheaper. Yeah, so it's much cheaper, and you can get going quicker when you're just focused on the digital. And so my personal advice is, if you can, go the digital route first, such that when it becomes a success, then you can do paperback. But we actually have traditional writers who are shifting. So if I think of the successful romance writers or, you know, writers that I know of that I will use soft paperbacks. So think Nora Roberts, think, what's his name? There are a couple of people. Stephen King, Daniel Steele. Those guys have been successful way back from the 70s, 80s, 90s, but they've completely gotten to the point where they're getting significant more sales on their digital platforms. So you have Amazon, KDP Amazon, but another platform that you have is actually Google Play Books, where you can actually then produce as well. So a lot of their old books, etc., are now being produced. Barbara Catlin, okay, people might not know. I said Barbara Catlin, like, oh, people should know her. But she's one of the Regency writers. So she's dead. She's been dead for almost 20 years now. But all of her old books are now coming back in digital format and are outselling what she sold in her lifetime. That tells you a lot. You just can't reach a lot more
so
people.
Digital is the future, right?
Yeah.
Well, it's an environmental issue too, right, for a lot of people
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, it's the convenience. You can download a digital copy and then you can transfer it.
You can use it on any of your platforms as well. Yeah.
Transfer it, I get off your computer whatever for time. You want to go pull it back, right? That's the beauty of.
I've also found it's a lot easier when I'm getting on a plane to have 30 books here. If I try to log around 30 books on my carry-all, it's like...
That's a very good point. The other point I was going to make is, how many people have books that people borrow and never return? That doesn't happen with digital books, right? You don't lose your books anymore. So
What do you do with your books when you're finished with them?
I sometimes download it on the device, but if I want to keep it open, I just say on download it. So it's sitting in my account in the cloud, in the air, somewhere. So anytime I want to read it, I just click it. I can always find it. Even if my phone, like right now, the screen is shattered, even if this crashes, I still have access to everything because it's up in the cloud, not the physical cloud. The digital cloud. Because I'm about to say the spiritual cloud. Yeah.
Okay, so we're a little bit behind on time. There are two videos I want us to watch. This is the first one, the KDP one, because I think this is a very hot topic for a lot of us also. We'd like to go publishing as soon as possible. So can you click on this?
Oh, sorry. We have people on the, hi. We have people there as well who are trying to communicate here. So I'm just trying to make sure. Didn't I get it? Sorry, I'm sorry.
Okay, so the hard part is done, right? Not so fast. I mean, you knew what you were doing when you were writing the book, but publishing it, that's not your thing. Yeah, and neither are writing query letters, finding an agent, and lots more. I mean, you're a storyteller, not a publisher. Reaching readers with your book has been a long-time dream of yours, along with quitting your day job. You know, the dream you kept seeing during those frequent naps while writing. But seriously, it shouldn't be this hard to fulfill that dream. Wouldn't it be great if there was an easy, clear, and free way? Well, Amazon Kindle Direct Publishing has exactly that. You write your book's description, because after all, you're the author, and you choose what categories your book will appear under, in order to help your new readers find it easily. Again, it's your call. Everything from content to price is totally up to you. Also, did we mention your work appears in the Kindle store within about a day? Yeah, how great is that? Not years, months, or even weeks. Right next to all your favorite big-name authors. Available to readers worldwide. Plus, oh, did we forget to mention? It's completely free, and you get up to 70% royalties in your preferred currency. Hey, listen, you don't have to convince us your book deserves to be published. See, everyone now has a chance to publish independently, whether it's newly written work or it's been waiting on a shelf for years. That's right. Remember that first book you wrote years ago? The one that's been collecting dust on your hard drive? Yeah, that one. Well, now it will get an opportunity to see daylight. Or, readers. KDP also gives you access to real-time reports on your book sales. Plus, you can reach readers in printed form by self-publishing with CreateSpace, an Amazon company. You can also create your own free author page on Amazon using Author Central. You've got a great story, and Kindle Direct Publishing is here to help you get it to your readers. Find out more at kdp.amazon.com.
Right. I promise you, I don't work with them. I'm just sharing what I know, what I found. All right, next slide. So this young man looks like me, right? You wish.
You wish.
Yes.
He's not that good looking.
Yeah.
You got tattoos.
Yeah.
See your arm. Hold on.
I've got a wristwatch.
Wristwatch close.
I met him last year, and I heard about his story. I heard his story. He used to flip organs. at the local
Fast food
It's
joint.
like boogers.
No, no.
I can do that. Sorry. Not enough coffee yet.
His story is full of F's. From fast food to freedom to pastas. I'll show you one of his videos now.
Which one?
And his tagline is, "If I can do it, you can do it also." His name is Joshua Montoya. That's him in his pastas.
What's going on, everybody? Morning. So before I get to what's on the screen right there, the moral of this video is basically you can do it too. Now, anybody that's looking at the screen that knows before